and welcome to the Ark Encounter protest. How's everyone doing? Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you? I'm excited to see the people.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I wonder why.
Bum, ba-dum,
Uh,
bum. I think we're live, but my sound. Let me refresh my page. I'm sorry, it might be me. Let me just check something. Sorry.
okay. Hey, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me or not. This says that you can, but welcome to the Ark Encounter protest fundraiser. We're still a few months out, and we'll do some more stuff. I'll do some one-on-one things with some of the other guests and stuff as we go. Today, though, we do have a number of guests here to speak with you. And what's up, Chris? Can you hear me now?
All right, there we go. Maybe my headset's dead. I'm gonna tinker for a minute. I apologize. This is
Oh, okay.
You tech gremlins have followed me to your show. I think, Joe. I think this is the problem. What's really going on is you were picking on me before the show.
Yeah. See, I
Let's see
actually
if I
was
can hear
ready.
you now. Can I hear you now?
What's up? Can you hear me?
I can't hear
Hello,
you. Maybe
Chris.
I want to blame you. Can the people out there hear Joe? I think it's Joe's fault.
They can hear me.
Okay. Do you guys hear Joe?
They hear me.
We can hear the Joe. So you can hear both of us. We just can't hear each other.
How weird is that? Hold on.
Okay. That's weird.
Uh, keep going.
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome.
I don't know what it is. Can you hear me now? Everybody, they say I'm low. Apologies for blowing up Joe's stream. It makes it interesting. It keeps it fun. You'd be like, I had the show started normally, we wouldn't have thought nothing about it. But now, hours later, we're talking about how incompetent that Chris is. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Ark Encounter protest. I am one of your hosts, Chris Mallard from the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Brought all my gremlins with me. Thank you for having me and the gremlins.
Oh no, awesome! I'm glad you're here, Chris. I'm glad you decided to help us out with this. You're a better host than I, so
I'm fun to have around till you get to know me. Anyway, so we've got a protest coming up, and this is the fundraiser for it. I just want to kind of not let anybody forget this is a fundraiser. So, you can hit the button. There's lots of places to do the fundraising thing. But what I want to remind everybody what it's a fundraiser for. And, Joe, I'm going to let you tell them real quick
all right.
what it's a
So
fundraiser for.
this will be the 9th anniversary of the opening of the Ark Encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky, and most of those years, the Tri-State Freethinkers down that way hosted a protest. When the pandemic hit, they kind of had to back off of that a bit. And so they were going to wait till the 10th anniversary to have another one. And I didn't find this out until shortly before it last year. And there just wasn't enough time to put it together. So this year we started at the first of the year, a little bit before actually, and started putting stuff together and getting things lined out and people and everything so that we could host it this year. And next year they'll be back doing it. I'll be Jess and I both will be helping with the thing next year. But this year we're kind of doing it ourselves, and they're helping us. So it's a cool thing. And if you're not familiar with what the Ark Encounter is, which I can't imagine anybody's here that doesn't know what that is, but it is a giant building that looks like a boat that is supposed to be the dimensions that they interpret it as being as the size of Noah's Ark. And it's filled with things like dinosaurs with saddles and Ken Ham. And, a lot of indoctrination goes on there, and they bring school groups in, and Ken Ham and AIG has now moved into homeschooling a lot. And there's a lot of problematic things about that whole situation. Right. So it seems appropriate to have a protest there to talk about those things and some of the separation of church and state issues that are surrounding it as well. That's what it is. And as for the information on links to donate. Uh, there's one pinned in the chat that has both the GoFundMe and a PayPal link. Those are also in the description. Or you can go to
Mm-hmm.
artcounterprotest.com, and we try to keep all that updated with hotel stuff and everything. So anything you need to know in all those places.
Now, if I remember correctly, the reason for the original Ark Encounter protest had a lot to do with to protest government funding and how Ken Ham was getting financing, offset financing for his stuff like this. And this is essentially saying, listen, we shouldn't be floating their religion, haha, with our tax dollars. Is that
Right.
essentially what the heart of this is about?
That's where this started. The state of
Mm.
Kentucky and Grant County and Williamstown gave AIG and the Ark Encounter millions of dollars in tax rebates from the state of Kentucky. Um, there were certain promises made by AIG about how many people they would have coming through and the amount of tourism it would bring, and all these projections were wildly exaggerated. And while the Ark Encounter does keep a steady enough group of people come through to stay open and make them lots of money, it's actually been a detriment to the area down there. The Because it wasn't just the Ark Encounter. I mean, they paid to have the highway changed and roads fixed and hotels and any number of things done in order to accommodate having something that falls under a theme park put in there. And then
Oh,
at the last moment, Ken Ham tried to sell it to his own nonprofit organization for $10, so that then he could label it as a religious place and not have to pay taxes on it. Uh,
I
that
see.
fortunately got reversed a little bit later, but there's still 85% of the taxes that they pay, they get back at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year. So, uh, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Got you. So it's a worthy cause for us to support. You know, it's one more instance of the Christian right or Christian, I guess. I don't know if they'd call them right. It's clearly wrong. But teaming up with the government to either impose their will upon us or take our money from us. And we're going to be protesting that July
Six.
6th. Haha, see, I'm not dumb as I look. In Williamston. It is Williamston or Williamsburg?
Williamstown.
Williamstown, Kentucky. Why do I not know that? For some reason, I may have been telling people Williams. I don't know. You know how Kentucky is. What's the difference, Williamstown? Anyway, we've got some people who are going to be joining us tonight who are going to be there, joining us to help protest for the Ark Encounter. I guess quite an impressive list of people. Mark, let's see, Alsip. Did I say that right? Mark Alsip. We're going to have him.
Also,
Ah, here's
also,
Alsip.
you got close.
Alsip.
You got close.
Gotcha.
We'll give
I
you
was
credit.
close. Well, we have Alsips here in New Mexico. It's like a little convenience store. I almost said Alsip, but yeah.
You're getting
Uh,
credit. You got close. Some people say some like ass lip, and yeah, you get credit. You get credit.
gotcha. Well, so Mark is going to be joining us in person live. So whenever we get there, I'm looking forward to meeting you, Mark. Hugs and all that stuff. It's going to be fun. And you're going to be one of our speakers. Am I
Yes,
correct?
looking
Excellent.
forward to it. Amazed to be on the stage with so many well-known people. Yeah, a little imposter syndrome going on here, but I appreciate the chance.
Me too. Do you want to tell us about yourself a little bit, if you don't mind?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on stage now. So I am a former young Earth creationist. I was indoctrinated at the age of 6 into the exact religion that Answers in Genesis preaches is. I mean, the
Oh,
exact
really?
religion. At this moment, I should just put in a little note. I told Joe and Chris earlier, I'm sitting outside because we have a beautiful Kentucky day. So if you hear birds chirping and stuff around me, I'm out on the back patio. I did try like to pray the birds away and lay hands on them to get them to be silent, but the birds moved so quick that I couldn't catch them.
Right,
So
right.
there might be some noise, but yes. So about age 6, we moved to Kentucky, and the church that we went to started threatening me that I was going to go to hell for taking any Bible verse in a non-literal context. And being a lover of science, that really affected me. When you start telling a 6-year-old they're going to burn for eternity over simply the physics of a rainbow, you're setting them up for problems. And I
Yeah.
suffered through this religion for decades, and that's primarily what I'm going to be speaking about on July the 6th. Is those poor children who are walking up the gangplank at the Ark right
Mm.
now, and what I think is really going through their heads, and I think it's child abuse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are things that, you know, we've heard before that if they didn't let people teach kids this stuff until they were like an early adults, you know, 20, 21,
Yeah,
these religions would die in a generation.
they
Um,
would.
yeah. And now what we've seen is a lot of mix, I guess, especially down in your area, because you guys are in the Kentucky, you know, the southeast area where there's the, you know, the Bible Belt. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're in it.
Yeah.
We're the bell
Yeah.
buckle.
And you're throwing, I mean, they're throwing the Ten Commandments in schools and the Bibles in classes and all this business. You know, imagine being a kid there, and every day, whether you're a Muslim kid or an Indian kid, I mean, Indian from India, Native American, whatever, anybody who's not a Christian, and
Yeah,
every day have to sit there and see the words of God looking at you. It's just like, you know, it's a matter of time before it penetrates their little minds that that's genuine. You know, I mean,
yeah.
if they're not strong, you know, I mean, it's just, you know,
Well,
so
there's a great book out there. I apologize, I forget the author. There's Marlene Wynell wrote a good one, but there's another one. It's called Breaking Their Will, and they talk about
mm,
how they break children down because they naturally have this instinct that, hey, wait a minute, we can't flood the earth, we can't fit enough animals on an ark. But I'll tell
mhm,
you, because I was there personally, when a Sunday school teacher points at you, as you pointed out how children are, pointed out, singled out,
yeah,
they told me in front of all the other children that Satan was inside me and I was going to burn in hell just for saying that rainbows existed before Noah's flood. When you get to a child that young, you do
mm.
break their will. When you start working on them that young,
That's not funny. I'm
you know,
sorry, but it
no,
is
no,
funny.
well, no. I mean, it's easy to laugh now, but I can tell you that as a 6-year-old, I cried, and a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, and for over
Well,
a
that you
decade.
figured that out,
Well,
that you reasoned that. That's fantastic
I
at that
cried myself
age.
to sleep every night though, and I
Mm.
did cry
Oh,
myself to sleep almost every night because they told me I was going to burn. They told me my parents were going to burn, and I had that on one hand. I wanted to be a good Christian. I did join the faith. On the other hand, I had reality, slap me in the face and going, "Hey, wait a minute! It's obvious that dinosaurs didn't walk with humans, but they hold the trump card. Burning in
mm.
hell is a powerful motivation. I'll just say,
It
I'll leave it
is.
there.
And Mark, I wasn't laughing at you.
Oh, I know.
The
It is
funny
funny.
thing
It's funny.
is,
It's
I
funny.
was told at 5 years old I was burning in hell too. So I mean, like that's why I laughed because
Well,
it's just the
I think it
absurdity of
was,
it.
yeah. Well, it was like
It is
whenever
absurd.
he got to his point about how, but I'm like, but how could rainbows were around, you know? And that part was funny, but I tried to hold it in so long that by the time I laughed, you were on to more serious stuff, and it just looked like I was laughing, but it was, yeah, I get
Guys,
you.
I
That's a good,
understand. It is.
yeah,
It is.
it
There were
is.
things they told me that I would sit there in class and laugh. The story is it Balaam the donkey speaking. I laughed, and of course I got in trouble in
Mm,
class, and eventually they beat you into submission. Now these things, I think we should laugh at these things. I think when somebody tells us a snake spoke, we should laugh. We should laugh at that. That shouldn't be sacrosanct. But when you're threatened with being, tortured, that's a pretty powerful motivation to keep your mouth shut.
it really, it really is, especially that young. And
Oh
that, like
yeah,
you were saying about crying, the thing I talk about whenever I was a little kid, what I remember about my notions of hell was I remember laying in bed and imagining that there was this like hole going to open up in my floor and just drag me to the pits of hell. I remember thinking that was a possibility as a kid. I don't remember how I was pretty
yeah,
young, like 27, 28. But
yeah.
you know what no, I mean, I was like 5 or 6 really. But yeah, that's a powerful fear that they use. But why do they use that fear?
Well, it's
Because I mean, everybody knows what it feels like to burn. You've been
yeah.
burned. That, That's the
Yeah,
worst bait.
it's to get you to submit when all reason, when everything else in the Bible is full. So I spent decades reading the Bible before I deconverted and feel like I know it fairly well. And the Bible is full of these little logic traps where if you do speak up, if you point out that, um, hey, the donkey's talking, come on, man, you're that's Satan speaking to you. And you will immediately, if you talk to a devout follower in this religion, you'll immediately lose the connection with them when you point out that, hey, this is absurd, because the Bible tells them that you're going to try to do this. You're going to try to convert them. And I don't care what you believe. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just like, leave me alone, please. Yeah, and that's what Joe said. The Ark Encounter. They're trying to force that on all of us, and I'm just like, please leave me alone. I'm tired of it.
That's right. So while I just like to throw this reminder back out there, we've got a little fundraiser going. There are links above. Pragmatic Crystal's been very. She's here. Hi, Pragmatic Crystal. Thank you for joining us, and has been posting some links. So if you don't mind, throw us some coin over there to help us fundraise for the Ark Encounter protest, so we can help do what we can to, I guess, shake a fist at these people for
We
trying to
just
do
got
what
our
they're
first
trying to do.
donation of the stream.
What's that? Oh,
We just
did
got
we?
our first donation of the stream, $10 from the Apostate Sisters.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Patty and Nancy, very much. You guys are wonderful. I had them on the show yesterday. They were fantastic.
Oh, they are. They are. They're one of my favorites.
Thank you, everyone who's supporting this, and shout out to Joe especially for taking this. This protest has been going on for years, and for him to carry it on, please help support it. It's very appreciated.
Yeah. And it doesn't take a lot. I mean, a whole bunch
$2.
of little $2 here, $2 there, whatever you can do. It doesn't take much, to help, and it does help. So awesome. Let me, if I can, just to take a moment and say, hell, I'm going to try this. Ooh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Hello, Karisu Gamoto. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Ambushed Apostate, Pragmatic Crystals here. Michael Beverly is here. I haven't seen you in a day or three since you were on our show, the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Nice to see all you wonderful people. I hope I said your name right, Karisu. Awesome. So I'll get back to you. It looks like we may have. Do you want to bring Mandisa up here?
Yeah.
There you go.
And
there. All the cool kids are showing up now. My job is going to get easy. I've been wanting to meet Miss Mandisa for a while. I think she froze up.
she may have not been ready yet.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Well, we never discussed.
I'm here. Give me just a moment to fix my camera, please.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. Okay. All right. Awesome sauce. Yeah, we never worked on our secret hand signals as to when we would call people up or any of that business.
Yeah, I was taking a drink here when you got me, but
well, really, at the time when I called you up, I was actually just describing you. I was where we're going to have this thing, and we're going to have these people. Mark is going to be here, and I was going to go on with other names, but he popped you up, and I was like, oh,
whoa,
okay.
Camera. There's Mandisa.
Yeah. There's Mandisa. Look at that. Hi.
Are you ready, Mandisa? Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
As you can see, Mandisa, it's nice to meet you. We are complete noobs.
Oh, no, that's
Joe.
Perfectly fine.
Have you seen my channel? Hi, Mandisa. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I mean, we were incredibly happy to have you. Come to the protest at all, but we're gonna have you set you up with a table. You don't have to build your own table, but for
do I get a table?
Black Non-Believers, which is an organization that you're the president. Is that the right word?
Founder and president, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Extremely happy to have you. One of my favorite guests that I've had too. I had a great time talking with you whenever I had you on. But I'll let Chris talk to you a little bit here and do his job, and I'll stay out of the way.
I'm dying.
Sure.
I'm excited. This is my first time meeting you, but I've seen you around with the Black non-believers. It's fantastic. Do you, if you don't mind, could you take a
Sure.
moment and tell me and everybody who's not entirely familiar with you and what you've got going on, what's up?
Absolutely. So, again, it's a pleasure to meet you, Chris. It's good to speak to you again, Joe, and hello, Mark, and hello, everyone who is watching. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, I am Mandisa Thomas. I'm the founder and president of Black Nonbelievers, which is headquartered in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And we are an organization that builds community for and advocates for blacks who are black folks who are atheists, agnostic, humanists,
Mm-hmm.
questioning religion in favor of leaving, and we represent in the public sphere. And we're an organization that's open to everyone because we have many allies that we and many organizations that we work with. But we do our best to make sure that we are amplifying the voices of Black atheists in particular and non-religiously identified, because those spaces are still, those voices are still seldom heard. And we have been successful in helping more folks within our community come to terms with their non-belief, also find others and get active and engaged. So, we are very, very proud. We're 14. We're 14 years old now. We've been around since
Wow.
2011,
Wow.
and we have definitely been working on, like I said, amplifying the voices. We have been featured a few times in the media, and we co-host a student scholarship. We co-sponsor a student scholarship with the Secular Student Alliance, and so we host and facilitate a number of programs and activities within the community and within our organization.
That is fantastic. 14 years. Wow. That's some dedication. Goodness gracious. So
It
let me
is.
go
I
ahead.
said it's been a journey, but it's one that I've met so many wonderful people, and it's been amazing to have been a part of.
Gotcha. Wow, goodness, I'm impressed. I didn't know it was that. I mean, we see. I just, you know how it is when you're busy in your own world, you pop up. I've seen the Black non-believers. I was actually, whenever I was uh, reaching out to Ryan Kultastic to see if she'd join me on the Daily Atheist Morning Show, I was just kind of cruising one day on the TikTok, and I noticed a Black non-believer shirt, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." And I watched the video, and it was Ryan talking about you and the Black non-believers. What a
Aw.
wonderful group. I know. I want to mention there was a super chat from Limited Light for $2. Much appreciated. Super chat. Thank you for that. And also, someone else mentioned about there's Kenham and Kent Hovind. Normally, the two don't, they're not really. But in this particular case, for us, because we're special, me, Joe, Mandisa, Mark, because we are chosen by God. They have come in together. These two gentlemen, and and they're actually going to come together. I want to say against us, July 6th. You should come. It's going to be fun. So Ken Ham with the Ark Encounter, and then Ken Hovind is going to be there with his group of
Well,
individuals.
I will be there, and I will be there up close and personal. And some of you may know that I had the opportunity to debate Kent Hovind last year,
Oh, really?
and yes, it was about creationism versus atheism. And the video is still up on BN's YouTube channel. We actually simulcast it. It was
Oh,
simulcast on
really?
his channel and our channel. And actually, there were a lot of people who were like, "Why are you doing this?" Right? So,
Right.
and I think I'm the first person of color, and especially the first woman who's ever debated him.
Really?
And
Wow. Okay, I didn't see that.
it was, first of all, I usually don't do like apologetics, but I think sometimes it's good to sharpen up those knives, if you will, at times, because there are, we can't avoid it. And I don't encourage, my passion is community building within my organization. However, because we do come across believers who come at us, we need to be ready. And so
Right.
I felt, you know what, I'm not afraid of the discourse. And it was just very, and I had never done that with such an apologetic before. And so I said, why not? They invited me, and I said, if I, and his to their credit, his people were very kind, and the folks who were working with him were kind enough to get us set up for. I went down to Donald Land in person and debated him in person.
Oh, did you?
And
Wow.
yes, I did. I went
That
there in
takes some
person.
stones.
It was quite the interesting experience. And
Wow.
but again, because you can't, you have to be a bit thick skinned in order to be able to do stuff like this. And so
Right.
I worked with his people, and we got the live stream set up on our channel. And it was that those hours that finally got us monetized last year. And
Right.
so I really, hey, if there was anything that came from it, they helped us get our hours up, and pushed us over to that point. So, but, it was just a very, very interesting conversation. It was a very interesting engagement. And to me, it actually felt kind of sad to see those people there in that compound up close and personal. So
Yeah.
maybe I might see some folks who I engaged last year if they are
Maybe.
coming together, for this protest. If we're going to meet them face to face, then I might see some folks and say, hey, how are you? But you
You
know,
certainly will.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
you certainly will see some people that you recognize.
Yeah, can I
And
just jump in for a second?
yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yeah, I want to reinforce something that Mandisa said. I did my first real, serious debate last week against young Earth creationists, and I love to debate, and I want more of those. But to the purpose of it, does it really matter? These people are so brainwashed. I think she's right, and the reason she's right, why do we engage with these people? Are we amplifying them? The problem is whether we debate them or not, they are out there in our community preaching this message of like a 6,000-year-old Earth and people riding on dinosaurs. And there's people that come to me, and I'm sure they come to Mandisa also and say, is this true? And if we don't know what the other side is thinking, then we're not prepared to answer it. So I commend her for doing that debate. I think we should do that.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
thank you for that, Mark. I mean, it's something that, when you at the very core, some of these people are very, very nice,
Yep.
and they might be in situations that unfortunately that people like Hovind welcome them, and they don't realize that they might be exploited. And so at least, for them to hear an opposing side, and to
Amen.
come with reason and compassion, and not attacking them, but at least critiquing their beliefs.
Yes.
It's really important. And I think, there are some folks, and I mean, I know Hovind can give people a headache, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And
goodness.
sitting there, I was there for, we did the debate for like about 2 hours, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there were so many people who like commended me for even staying and being in that space. And I was just like, it's for the, I really am dedicated to this work, and that's a part of it, right? Being able to be in a space where we are having discussions and having discourse with folks who seem to be true believers.
Mm.
But they also need to know that we are coming from a place of reason and objectivity about what it is that they believe and how harmful it can be and how harmful it has been. And so I'm looking forward to being back at the Ark Encounter protest. The last time I was there was in 2021. And so I'm looking forward to being back. I'll be driving up to the Cincinnati area where it will be, and I'm looking forward to meeting y'all in person and seeing some folks again. Because that's going to be an amazing part of it. And for everyone watching, please do support. Please do support this effort. Please do support this event, because it does take resources. As an organization that hosts our own event, and we do a lot of things, that financial support is really, really crucial. So if you know that this is something that you appreciate, and something that that you might not be able to do on your own, but you appreciate those of us who do it, please do support it.
And
Yes.
let me just say real quick, Mandisa's being quite humble. She mopped the floor with Kent. Like it was a bloodbath.
I can imagine. I can tell already.
I want to no. Come on, guys. Let's be serious. Be serious. I want to ask Mandisa, what was it like to be completely destroyed and defeated by Ken Hovind? I mean, because that's how he said when he walked away. He walked away going, "I showed her," and his fans were like, "Oh my God, did you see what he did to her? It was fantastic." That's
Well, what was interesting is that one of his people were if you like towards the end during the Q&A portion, and it's still live, one of his people he was very, very upset, and he was going to tell me a thing or two about what it means that human beings are just so above other species, and how dare I, and I'm like, hold up. And from what I understand, that individual has been in legal trouble, just like Ken Hovind has been. And so it was, I know some, and I appreciate some of his people who had certain questions. They had some interesting questions that I was able to respond to. Like, I know that in Louisiana there was there was a question about how they're trying to invoke the Ten Commandments back in public schools, which I think there's been
succeeded, yeah.
And I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, the things that we're seeing under this administration, and also the things that Hovind was able to admit during that conversation, and just saying that he's going to convert me, and I'm just like, oh, okay, great, nice try, but that's not the first time I've heard that. But I thought it was just very interesting, and even some of the Christians were like, oh my gosh, they were going in on him. And so I'm just like, wow, it was, like I said, it was an experience. It definitely was an experience to have that discourse with him. And I'm just like, and it was interesting because one of his people who took my, oh my gosh, they took my business card, and someone, I know it was from his camp, who said, well, I don't know what's happened to you, and but you need to know that God loves you, and that's how they try to manipulate people. And it's just, I'm like, oh gosh, it's pretty disgusting when they try to come with, and it's manipulative when they try to come with, well, God loves you and blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm sorry.
No, the guy, he ended our debate by saying he would pray for me, and I just responded, well, I would rather you save that prayer for the VA veterans who have lost limbs from IEDs. Can you go to the hospital and pray for them? And it completely shut down the debate. It ended the debate, because they're trying to be nice to it. This passive aggressive, I'm going to pray for you. God bless you. I'm still rooting for you. It just doesn't work.
No.
I have this response that I tell them. You may enjoy it. I usually tell them whenever they bless me or they say when they want to pray for me, you kind of know I don't want that. And to do so against my will is actually soiling your voice to God. You're using your voice to God to insult me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Right.
That's what I've told them. And that has changed some minds about praying for me. Because that's what they're doing. They're not really.
Seen a paraplegic killed or a quadriplegic. I haven't seen an arm regrown.
Not once.
The guy's face turned red, and he changed the subject. So.
Yeah, and we can thank science and technology and human ingenuity for for being able to help amputees and people
absolutely
who were able to to be able to now, whether they can afford it now, and for folks who are able, it's just like, oh my gosh, you just really think that, like you said, if it's the magical thinking that you're subscribing to, then God should be able to handle, be able to just grow those limbs back. And
you look at now, like it was in the news. It's in the news this week about how they're able to read brain patterns and let people speak and manipulate objects. And this is humans who are doing this. Of course, the religious people will tell you, oh, God is motivating them. But I don't see the prayers doing anything. I see us doing things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
Bob Tilton did claim that they made people regrow limbs.
Oh, no. No. Okay, I want to
Was it and it started because you're talking about Robert Tilton, right?
So and not to interrupt or anything, but Mandisa, I debated Kent Hovind yesterday, and
Oh, wow.
I did it over the internet, but he no less than 5 times this week has told me he was going to convert me and save me, and what's it going to take to drop the A from your name and all that stuff. Calling me the
How much
Kentucky
money
would
has he
be
got?
kind of weird.
I mean, he could buy the A from my name for like a year.
I thought he would do that.
I'm cheap.
Yeah, because I'm only like, being in the Atlanta area, because his facility, as he calls it, was only about 2.5 hours away. I decided to go down there because I wanted to see what it was like for when I was very, very curious. And so I did it in person. They offered to do it online as well, but I thought it would be more impactful to do it in person. And for those who had never seen, much less a Black woman, go, be opposite of him, I thought it was just very important, to at least have that discourse in person, because it shows that, first of all, it gives, for whoever had, for those who had never heard of Black non-believers, for those who had never heard of me, because there are some people who haven't. I appreciate everyone who has. I really do. But for those who aren't familiar with the work we do, and who aren't familiar with the fact that, yes, there are Black atheists out there. There are Black atheist women who are leading the charge in this work. I'm not the only one doing it. Shout out to people like Cynthia McDonald. Shout out to Tina Marshall. And all of our folks who are on our team at BN, and all of our supporters and all of our allies. And it was just, oh my gosh, it was a surreal experience. It was oh my gosh. I first of all, my hat goes off to anyone who is able to have the debate, whether in person or online. But to me, I just felt like I really needed to do it in person, just to lay eyes on it, just to see what I was, just to see what it was like. And I'm like, it probably would have been a one-time thing. And it's funny, he invited me and my family back, and I asked my sons if they want to go. They were like, no. So it was, it was just quite, like I said, it was quite the experience. And but I was just like, wow, I'm curious to know what your thoughts were, more of your thoughts, Joe, on your debate.
Yeah. Well, Kent kind of has a single track, so it's these things. And I think that number one, he hasn't debated many women, and no Black women that I'm aware of. And I think that you being there present to talk to him, I think it threw him off his game a little bit, because he didn't want to treat you the way that he treats some of the people that he talks to. But at the same time, he was still trying to say some of the same old stuff, But also though, you just completely dominated him to where he didn't have a chance to really get into all those things. You stopped him a number of times mid nonsense and was like, "No, wait a minute, Kent, that's not how that works."
I thought it was amusing. If you haven't watched the debate, the fact that he pulled up another Mandisa Thomas and used her picture. And I thought it was just hilarious. I'm not sure if he was just going to make me upset,
How
But
can you
I
miss?
just thought it was hilarious because he did have some pictures of me, but then, and this woman, she had short blonde hair, but she clearly was not me. And so I just thought that was so funny. There were a lot of things that were just so funny and also a little sad about that debate, but I thought that was hilarious. And I'm like,
Yeah.
because I know Kent, he fancies himself a bit of a jokester. And I'm like, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I can do that too. So, but I thought that was quite funny as well. You could tell that there was an attempt to kind of throw me off, but, and also to put words in my mouth. And I'm just like, no, sir, no, we're not going to do that today. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he's bad about that too. So I didn't actually intend on even debating Kent. I called DAL because he had said he was bringing his cult to the Ark Encounter protest, and
Mm.
so I called and I was like, "Hey, I hear you're coming and you're welcome to come and all that stuff, but maybe you would like to let me kind of schedule around you and things so that you can have the conversations that you're wanting to have with people instead of just yelling at people who are trying to speak and being disruptive and not getting anywhere. And if you'll let me kind of work with you a little bit, I can probably schedule some of this stuff and it'll be best for everybody. Not just us, not just you. You'll get to have the things. We'll even get a space to where people can sit down and talk to you or whatever." And he just insisted on wanting to debate me about evolution being my religion, and that's the thing we
Yeah.
talked about. Which,
Oh goodness gracious! Well, this will be very interesting, and I hope that if you are in the surrounding area, if you are in the surrounding tri-state area, in Cincinnati, please do come out.
Please.
Forward to meeting you there. I look forward to being there again, and it'll be interesting to to see what those encounters, for lack of a better word, is like with more of them in person. So, and for all of my folks who are watching from BN and those of you who are subscribed to BN's channel, yeah, please do come on out. We'd love to have you there. We need to show up there in full force. So let's do it.
yeah,
I've heard you haven't actually made it as an atheist until Kent Hovind does a Whack an Atheist episode about you. So
can't
I've
help it.
heard.
Can whack me anytime he
How do
wants.
I get on his show? I'm ready. I'm ready.
You ready?
Oh, I'm more
No,
than ready.
did you debate him?
No, I have not.
Oh, oh, oh.
I debate is my whole life, like online, but I've always done it behind the scenes. The first real in front of the cameras debate I did was last week against an Oxford science teacher who, for some reason, now believes that the Earth is 6,000 years old and we walked with dinosaurs. And I feel the debate was rather one-sided, and I'm looking forward to more. But yeah, Kent Hovind, I've been watching him since I was it's been decades, and man, I tell you that there's something off about that guy. He just but I would like to debate him. It would be fun.
I don't think it'd be hard. Just call
No.
him.
Well, I don't want to be arrogant, but I don't think it would be hard. But I'm looking forward to watching Mandisa because I've been watching the comments here, and apparently some
Yeah.
people have seen this debate, and apparently Mandisa, as we say, ripped him a new one.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to that, Mandisa.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it was informative. I know that there were some folks who did, and I think there was one gentleman Grayson, who was a part of a reaction video to that debate, and I know he had gone to Dino Land and debated Kent Hovind as well, and so. There was definitely there might have been more reaction videos, right? But I certainly, like I said, it definitely did accomplish something that we wanted to accomplish. I did not know how much of an impact it would make, but if there's any opportunity to let people know, and I appreciate everyone from our network who showed up for it in person. Apparently, and even on their side, they said it was one of the most engaging debates they had. So I was just like, wow, that's very, very interesting. So, I was just like, wow.
Well,
I can tell
if
you
I
from my
may,
end, there are children, young adults, even adults. For some reason, a lot of people don't like science. I've never understood that, but it enables people like Ken Hovind to twist things so they don't understand. And I think the value of these debates, as much as some people say, don't give these people a stage, is there are people out there who don't know. And we, by engaging with people like Kent, can understand the lies that you're telling and then come up with a response because I do get asked these questions and I have a ready answer now. So yeah, these debates are. Oh, we lost Joe. Chris, you're in charge now.
I've got it. Y'all go ahead.
No,
Y'all are making it
that's my
easy.
point. It's just I think these debates do mean something.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Well, part of I've often been about not debating, and the reason for me was because, okay, I'd debate Ken Hovind, sure, because right, it's like it did with Mandisa. It grew her channel. It was good for her to debate him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what often happens is I'll be running my live show. I don't know if you know this or not, Mandisa. I host a Daily Atheist morning show.
Oh.
Live, 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's
Yeah.
a
Well,
more,
we need
it's,
to talk more. I mean, that's
yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
It's a morning show.
Follower.
We have three
Okay.
hosts that yeah, check it out. It's fun. But I'll get on there and I'll have Theus come on and go in the chat. Debate me, or in the comments. If you like debate me, I'm like, who are you?
Right.
Do you have a
Right.
channel? Do you have a church? If you have a church with a big following and we can maybe live stream in and I can debate you live in front of your people, yeah. But if you're just some jackass sitting on your couch masturbating, eating Cheetos, I'm not going to debate you, And
Right.
that's what you get. Just some jackass coming and thinking he's going to. I'm like, no. I've earned my
Yes.
stuff. Go earn your stuff and come
Yeah.
debate.
And
Yeah.
the thing is that it may not have looked at like it, but it
Hmm.
was getting I felt my blood pressure rising, right? And so
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I really, really did. And it definitely was just not like it is. I prefer to have conversations where now I can have discourse. I can check people and I know that people saw that, right? I can check folks along with the best of them. But I find that like I said, what I love to do is amplifying the voices of those who need the support and also providing that support. And even that can be like a blood pressure raiser too, right? But yeah, when it is not, I just have this thing about just simply going around and just wanting to like fight Christians all day long. I mean, that is not what I like to do. However, if it is going to be, in a setting where we can have this conversation, even if we know that there are some folks who are so scripted that they are never going to deviate from, from it, then let's do it. And part of one of the reasons that I really wanted to do it was because I wanted to help at least his audience understand what this looks like in real time and how their beliefs impact everyone in real time. And it's harmful. It's
Right.
dangerous. It has been racist. It has been sexist. It has been all of these things. And you need to hear that from the perspective of folks who have lived it, institutionally. Y'all need to understand how harmful it has been. And so I'm pretty sure there are some things that they may not have thought of
Right.
when it came to my perspective, but I was glad to give it.
Absolutely. Well, like Joe was saying, he sent me a text message in Discord. His electricity has gone off. He's working to get it back up. So he'll be back in a bit. But as he was saying, Ken Hovind probably hasn't debated many women at all. And I, just knowing what I know about people, and the tiny little bit I've gotten from your personality, I'm really going to enjoy going and watching what it's like to see Ken Hovind run up against a strong, intelligent female personality who knows her shit. And we'll tell him what it's like. Because I could just see him hitting the wall. Bam. That's the look on his face. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
watch that. That's got to be some good stuff.
Yeah, I hope, like I said, I hope you enjoy it. And I know that some of the folks in his audience were definitely not prepared
Mm,
for, for me to be as, for me to be as forthright as I was. And I just, but I thinking about, like I said, the harm that those beliefs have done, I had to come with it.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Well, there's a couple of points. One is that I feel because we're strong in our faith in science or whatever, but I feel it's more likely. He's like, oh, I'm going to convert you. We're gonna bring you to the light or whatever, and just kept with that. You're more likely to help begin the deconstruction of one of his viewers
hmm
or several, in fact, by watching something like that than he is to deconstruct or to actually convert any of us. So that's good.
right, absolutely. And seeing different people and different voices, as we express ourselves in these types of formats, really does, it really does, it makes a difference, and it does help shift the landscape, if you will. And so if it encourages anyone to rethink, any perceptions or misconceptions, then we've done our job. So, shout out to everyone who has ever debated him. And I know that he's trying to reach a certain number of debates,
Oh,
for
is he?
whatever his, yes, that's why he's been reaching out to so many different people and having these debates. But I mean, it's, I'm like, hey, if we helped you, that's fine. You helped us as well. So, hey,
Well,
Right.
it's
Right.
it's amazing. You mentioned that you hit them with something they don't expect to come from their opponent. This happened to me last week. The guy I was talking to was trying to mansplain rape to me and how the Bible had never, paying 50
Wow.
pieces of silver for the girl, choose your girl in the village. And as he was mansplaining rape, I just stopped him and said, look,
oh,
I was raped as a 6-year-old boy. Sorry for not to lead into that, but I was raped as a 6-year-old by a member of Young Earth Creationist Church. And this guy was telling me, well, he tried to just mansplain to me that there was, nobody in. Well, I don't want to get too graphic here, but I'm just saying I let him have it. I flashed red, and I couldn't
as
see.
you should have.
I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
not see straight. And I went into detail about how rape feels and why it's not a good thing, and how he was so out of touch with the person he was debating that he needed to just turn his microphone off right then and shut up, because this is what they expect. And like with Mandisa, they don't expect this coming. They've got us all lumped into this little narrow thing, and we're not there. Sorry,
Mhm.
went on a rant there.
No, no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that is fine.
It's just they don't. They've got this. I remember being indoctrinated and having this feeling in my head like the whole world went the way my church told me, and all
Mm.
these things were all bright and sunny and shiny, and the bad things didn't happen, and they do. And it's kind of it's interesting to run into people like that and educate them a little bit.
Well, as Miss Mandisa said, the danger, there's a danger by people believing these things. And my mission is
Yeah,
to, it's a war of attrition to pull the Christians away from that hate faith so they don't go on that one vote for abortion or whatever and give away our nation to a fascist
yeah,
kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my deal. Bring as many away from the faith. Now, normally I've kind of been against debating, like I said, because what am I going to debate? This guy sitting on his couch. But a debate with somebody like Mandisa did, debating with somebody who has an audience, if there's a chance I can bring any of those Christians away from that,
yes.
good job. Way to go.
What?
Joe's trying to, I'm just kind of giving you all a quick update. Joe's trying to get back in, trying to get things going. I don't have the ability, I don't think, to bring people on or take them off the stage. I'm just a guest. So hopefully he can get somebody on. We got, what's that?
I see John the skeptic is in the waiting room there. Hey, John,
Yes,
give him
yes,
thumbs up. He's waiting to come on, but yeah,
yes. That's why I was letting everybody know he's there. I would bring him on and remove Joe, and we'd just all just have a fun little party until you guys got to go. But I'm powerless. I have no
wow,
power. but we can talk about him. Good thing we got nothing but pure Americans here with American accents.
America. Oh, I'm Polish American. Do I count? Because I don't know if my
Sort of.
birthright's going to count anymore.
Well, I think
Well-
it's been. I'm sorry, John, for not being powerfully clear, but I think John's from England or he's got a foreign accent. He's
Oh,
from
John,
Columbia.
sorry, man. You guys lost the
can't-
war. You don't count now.
Yeah, I can't hear him now.
Yeah.
Does he still call it? Does he call us colonists? The colonists. Oh, I can hear him. There he is. Oh, he's here. Yeah. Okay. So he's there, and we're working on getting him up on the stage and doing the thing. Joe is trying. He is. I can see Joe back there. He comes in, he goes out. He gets dropped. So we're doing the best we can.
Well, in his defense, Kentucky has been ravaged lately by floods. We almost had the 40 days and 40 nights of rain.
Really?
It's been,
You
and
must have a lot of gays there.
oh, we do. We do. Yeah. Oh, there's John.
I'm on the
John.
stage.
Yeah, we have gay people here. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm also in Kentucky, just to really throw
No.
things. Yeah.
Where you at?
Mason County.
Oh my gosh, I know
Oh.
Mason County.
I was fixing to say the accent was from Mason County. I
Yeah,
can
it's a
tell.
very
I mean,
well, and people
it's
say to
southern
me,
Mason County, right?
It is, yeah, it is. But people say to me, "Where are you from?" So I just pick a random county in Kentucky to really throw them. Like, really? No. I've been here for nearly 4 years though, so I'm now well integrated. I've been fired for being an atheist. I'm now a big part of the clan. Yeah.
Well, you are in the Bible Belt. So.
I really am. Yeah. That
Well,
was
just a little trivia for you. I FOIA'd the Kentucky Faith Trail recently, which is the 11 all Christian sites that, and they got $300,000, and it's all going mainly to Answers in Genesis for advertising. But Mason County has an attraction, and they had to break their budget. They started charging these people to join in $2,500 to join in. Mason County did not have enough money to join in. So yeah, your county's broke, dude.
But it is now.
Park encounter.
Oh, that's
Sorry. Sorry. No tourism for you.
I'm okay with it. If it's all going to be Christian stuff, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as much as it was nice to meet all of you, hello, John. And if you are going to be at the Ark Encounter protest, I look forward to meeting you there. I have to get ready to go, but I appreciate y'all for having me on. And shout out to everyone who is in the audience. I recognize a few folks. And please, once again, please do support the Ark Encounter, this Ark Encounter fundraiser. And yeah, so I look forward to seeing y'all this summer. So yeah, you can check out Black Non-Believers, check out all of the links that were shared in the chat. If you want to watch that debate, I definitely encourage you to. So thank y'all so much, and I look forward to seeing y'all this summer. Thank you. Yes.
Before you run away, Daily
Sure.
Atheist Morning Show. I want to get you on the show. 9 a.m. Eastern,
Absolutely.
Monday through Friday. You're a blast. We'll have some fun.
Yes, absolutely. I'll send I'll send an email through. I think we were copied on the same email, so we'll be in touch.
I'll get you. Okay, awesome.
All right, y'all
Nice
have a
meeting you.
good
Be safe.
night.
Send
Bye.
safely.
Thank you.
All right, now Joe. I think if I'm going to ask Joe, I don't know if he can hear us or not. If he can pull him, are you there, Joe?
I am here.
Awesome! Yay! Mandisa has left us. If you will pull her down out of the stream, I don't have the power of pulley downy stuff.
I will try.
Billy Downey stuff. That was very descriptive.
Yes. English is my first language.
I could tell.
All right. Well, real quick, let me ask you, Brother John.
Yes.
I got to be honest. I hadn't heard about you until
Really?
We were actually paired up on the Ark Encounter protest. I'll be hosting it when we're there.
Great.
So we get to hugs.
Oh, I
but
love to hug.
So after seeing your name, I went and looked your stuff up. So that's how I knew you had an accent, but that's all I remember. 'Cause
There
I
you go.
smoked a
Yeah,
lot of
I'm
weed.
very forgettable. Even Mandice has forgotten me. We met a few years ago, so she's already forgotten me.
Well, if you don't mind, so you've been here, you said 4 years. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about yourself, real
So,
quick. And-
I-
wait, I'm sorry. Before you do that,
Yes.
I'm sorry. 1,000 apologies.
No, you're good.
Everybody, this is a fundraiser. Hook us up with coin. Don't forget there's links where you can go give money to the fundraiser to help people or help Joe with the Kentucky Atheist support the Ark Encounter protest. There's going to be Ken Ham and the Ark Encounter people there. And there's also going to be Kent Hovind and his bunch of individuals there. It's going to be fun, but we need your support, so hook us up. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Dade Murphy. The Ark Encounter Christians are so unequivocally and comically hopeless. Yes, they have an honor Ark Encounter. They opened it. English, Chris. They have the Ark Encounter protest July 6th every year. It's to protest the opening of the Ark Encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky. Don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, John.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going? Mark is helping me co-host because Joe just fell out.
Joe's Kentucky internet is terrible. It doesn't matter where you go. The service drops out when you're on the phone. It's awful. I'll be listening to a playlist on my phone, and all of a sudden there's no music because we're through a holler somewhere, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like that wherever you go. But yes,
Like holler.
holler. Yeah, I said holler. I went down the holler.
Yeah.
Deconstructing Laura. Good morning. I run the morning show, so I'm used to saying good morning. Deconstructing Laura 42. Thank you for donating. If you donated, normally Joe would announce donations. So if you want to announce it in the chat, and I'll repeat it. Otherwise, if Joe can connect, he'll announce them for us as we go on. Thank you for your donation.
You're doing a great job for covering as well, Chris.
I can hear everything, and I can see
see
the panel, but I can't see chat or do anything else.
Okay.
How do we know you're real, Joe?
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't.
You've assumed the floating circle, which is very unnerving for me.
Yeah. I'm my skepticism is
Right.
Starting to tingle. Your skepticism is starting to
Yeah.
tingle.
It's all going off over here.
I'm sorry, you were interviewing John. I'm going to shut up and let you go.
Oh no! Well, real quick, we did have Chris Moore said that he did donate anonymously, which is not very anonymous if you post it in the chat that you did it. I'm just saying, but thank you for the support. We appreciate it. So when we see an anonymous donation over there, we'll know who it was. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, John, carry on with your lies.
There we go. So I am obviously British. I met my wife online, and before moving to the US, I'm back in the UK. It's very easy to be an atheist, and I'd have fun conversations with people. We would speak mostly about the spiritual side of stuff, so ghosts and all that, rather than a god. But I really enjoyed having those conversations. So before moving to the US, I knew I was going to be coming here to live with my wife, my now wife, and I needed some kind of outlet for my non-belief. So I created The Skeptic and started making videos. And that was back in March of 21, I think. That I started. So that's where The Skeptic came from. And I didn't want to have my face because I didn't know what it was going to be like. So I created this British floating circle. Now I don't care. People can see my face. I don't care. But so yeah, that's basically why The Skeptic was born. And the reason I'm in Northeast Kentucky is because my wife is from here. She is a Bible Belt atheist from a very religious family. She grew up and went to she did all the Bible camp stuff and in church camp and all this stuff, which is alien to me. So I've been learning a ton about what it's like growing up in a really religious part of the world. And I never had that. So, I have a bit of fun with that. And I just have an outlet for my non-belief with my YouTube channel, which is fun.
That's awesome. I mean, but I gotta say, man, anybody, if you're from, I'm from West Texas, you probably can't tell it from.
I can't tell accents. I'm terrible.
I suspect they're all our Southern accents are the same, unless anyway. But so let's see. Hi, honey. I love you so much. You're wonderful. Should we live in England?
Right.
Bumfuck Kentucky.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah.
So now we know who's got the money.
Well, actually, but it's so much cheaper over here. Like my money goes so much further here.
No doubt. Yeah,
It's
True
ridiculous.
Enough.
It was so expensive. I lived in a 2-bedroom house, and I paid more a month than what my wife was paying on her mortgage for a 5-bedroom house here.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
It's ridiculous. But she does have a daughter from a previous marriage, so we couldn't leave. She couldn't leave because she had at the time a 5-year-old. So
Understood. Well,
yeah.
you always get those questions. I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
work apartment maintenance a long time ago, and I ran into this guy with a really cool accent. It was Australian. I was like, man, it's cool. You're Australian. I was like, why are
Right.
you here? Married a New Mexican. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess. But why would you? Anyway, same story. Yeah, same deal.
Well, I think in his case, there's fewer things to kill you because in Australia, everything is out to get you.
Understood. Oh, yeah. And
Everything.
then kill you until you're dead. That's
Right,
what it likes to
and
do.
it will keep going even after you're dead. It will just go, well,
Yeah.
I'm not quite finished yet. So
I've discovered, you may not believe this, I've discovered I'm allergic to most toxins and venoms and fangs and
I think,
death,
that's.
essentially.
I'm
I
definitely
don't react
allergic
well
to death.
to those
Yeah, no,
things.
I don't.
Yeah,
All the times that I've done it, not ended well.
never. There's always the crying, the screaming, the feces.
Yeah, right. The
You know what it
pain,
is.
the pain part of it.
Terrified by those Australian outhouses that have the spiders that come up and get you in your man parts.
Oh yeah.
I would never go to the bathroom in Australia. It's just I'll save it till I get home.
I worry about it here because like there are snakes that do. Wait,
Oh,
wait.
have you run into the red ants yet, John? I've stumbled into the colony of red ants. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I check the toilet now. I have a quick look down before I sit down.
Jesus,
I'm
I'm
really-
real. I mean, yeah.
Jesus is real. That's why you check the toilet.
That's
You
great.
do. You have to in Kentucky. You
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, there could be
Yeah.
anything down there.
You don't know.
Yeah.
This is
We
all
don't
stuff
have
that I've learned since moving here as well. I'm like, okay, now I've got to check the toilet to make sure nothing's going to crawl up my butt whilst I'm having a. And actually, I sit down every time I visit the toilet because I'm a lazy peer. I like to sit down. So
There you go.
there you go.
Lack of
Little fact
splatter
about me.
everywhere.
Yeah, there's that. And
you
sometimes we've all done it. We've all controlled an out of control hose. It's just easier to sit down.
Right.
The pressure.
It's like an elephant trunk with palsy.
Right. We've all
Just
been
goes-
there.
Right, true enough.
Is John's toilet water too high?
My
Yes.
I tried to explain this to my wife, and she just doesn't understand the. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, have we gone off topic or what?
Yeah. No doubt.
It's always
Yeah.
the way. Always the way.
Well, I want to pause and say hello to John Lovell for showing up, Dade Murphy, Aunt Jer. Thank you, Aunt Jer, for showing up. It's been a while. How are you doing?
I want to just say something to John Lovell.
Okay,
Great name.
John.
It's a great name. And it's a great name for a very specific reason for me. It's a great name, John
Hook
Lovell.
us up.
Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. But John Lovell, I mean, spelled different, but John, good name.
Very fantastic.
Good name.
John.
Yeah, I've heard there's only a small group of people in the world that have the name John Lovell,
Right.
and they're all douchebags. That's
Oh,
what I've heard. I don't know that that's
Absolute
true.
douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the ones
Everyone.
that I know. I don't know this John Lovell, but I know other John Lovells.
Oh,
Absolute douchebags. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Hi, John. Hope you're
What a
doing
gr-
great, man.
Glad
What'd you
you're
walk
here.
into, brother?
Oh, look, it's Elliot.
Hey, Elliot, how's it going, man? I thought I smelled something, and then I
Yeah.
Hey, man,
That's-
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, man. I'm excited to be here. It's kind of like me to jump on camera and just immediately start offending people. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I do, you know.
At least you're on message.
Hey, man, brother.
That's right. I try to be consistent, you know. That's
Yes. Well, I've mentioned before you were a stream whore. Doesn't stream himself, just lands.
Everybody else's.
it is honestly the way to go. You
There you
know,
go. It's honest work, to be honest. Yes.
it is. I work extremely hard showing up late to other people's streams. I did it just the other day, actually, with Dr. Ben over on his channel. We were playing. It was a fun trivia game, and yeah, it was like 15 minutes late. I was well into the start of the stream, and was just like, yeah, you know. So like, yeah, I mean, it's great. You just kind of slide in, you know, and they're just like, hey, what's up, guys?
What time are you supposed to be here, though, Elliot? What time were you supposed to be here?
I'm not sure if it was 7 or 7:15. So it was. I feel like it was somewhere in that vein.
Oh, it's your 7. Yeah, it's 7 for you. Yeah, it was 8
Yeah.
for us. You're only 10 minutes late. It's fine.
Okay, whatever.
Yep.
Whatever.
And you know, we opened the show with Tech Gremlins, and it kind of, you know, it's been it's been a heck of a show already. It's been a lot of fun. We've had some donors already throwing some coin at us to help support the Kentucky Atheist and the Ark Encounter protest. Thank you, everyone, for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hello. Yes.
Here backstage, yes.
We can hear the green room.
We can hear the green room.
Which that will confuse the
So
audience.
we'll
though.
nod. Just nod. She can't hear us, so we nod, everybody.
And the audience are like, can we hear? They can't hear it either. So
They
us
can't.
four are the only four that can hear another voice.
We're hearing voices that nobody else can hear.
Nope.
What does everyone
There's
you
a
up?
disembodied voice, but she can't hear us.
Start
that's
praying.
true. That's true.
That's all right. And looks like, all right, so Mark, John, Secular Rarity, Elliot, I think we may even have GE is here. Look at that.
John, another,
how are
a
you
way
doing?
more handsome John.
What?
Lots of
No, I
Johns.
disagree with that.
No, y'all are both cute. I'd do either one of you. You look like twins.
All right.
Stop it.
All right. That's honestly way better than how I joined this stream. like 30 seconds into GE being on, and it's like, all right, getting offers on the table. Like,
Breaking
let's
out the
go.
KY. It's,
Let's go.
Calm down.
it's a party. Hi, John. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good. You know, just sort of taking a relaxed day. I've got a pretty big streaming day tomorrow, so I'm just kind of taking today in a very chill kind of way.
Well, good. So what's going on tomorrow, if you don't mind my asking? I'm a nosy person.
Oh, yeah. So starting at like 4:30 tomorrow, I'm just like on one stream or another until probably like 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow night. I got Atheist Experience first at 4:30, and then at 7 I've got the Lines After Dark show.
Fun.
Oh my
Fun.
word. You're
Yeah.
non-stop.
Yeah.
You're busy.
That's good.
And on Jesus Day as well.
Yeah.
On Jesus Day.
I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
believe
doing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a
Jesus Day.
Yeah, I
Oh,
got
no,
a
it's not
special
baby
I got a special Atheist Experience monologue that I wrote up for specifically for Easter. So that'll be
nice.
fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
That'll be
Very
awesome.
interesting. Well, thank you for joining us here on the Kentucky Encounter, Ark Encounter protest thing. You're going to be there in person, yeah?
Yeah, I do believe I'm supposed to be I've got like a section to talk in, right? So that's going to be pretty cool. I've already started writing it and everything, so hopefully I can have that pretty well polished by the time July gets here.
I haven't started writing mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll work on it some other time.
Mhm.
My wife is like terrified for me to go because of everything that's going on with deporting people who are from this country. She's like, if you ruffle some feathers and the wrong people are there, you might be deported. I'm like, let's risk it. I might do it with an accent, just that
Oh,
way.
what's scary is they just the Kentucky State Police just trained at the Ark Encounter with the outside organization that is like a Jesus-based police training. Believe it or not,
Oh,
Kentucky
good.
Really?
Yeah.
State
Okay.
Police are going to be guarding us at the. So yeah, I'm going to give my license plate number to you guys, and if I'm never heard from again, I'll come over. Maybe John and I are in a penal colony somewhere.
Right.
Listen. If they show up there and they do anything more than just stand in front of everybody and start praying and hope that like creates some kind of magical wall in front of them, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed in the Christian police training. Also, how good can this training be if Jesus was all pacifist and was like turn the other cheek?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Sword, he came with the sword. Don't forget that verse.
Well,
Just imagine they catch somebody stealing something. It's like, oh, no. Say you're really sorry, and I'll let you go.
see, I'm imagining it's one of two options. Either like you can basically get away with all crimes because they're just like, oh, you know, we all fall short of the glory of God. You know, we're all sinful creatures. Or they take the Old Testament route and just for every single crime, it's just scorched earth. It's just annihilate everybody.
What I think is that if something kicks off, someone's going to get on the radio. Hey, I need a table to flip. I need a table to flip. Bring one down now. Stop it, you. I need a table. You know.
That's all. Well, you know, I understand your concern, John. I think all you have to do is work that accent because that was good, man. Because your skin tone is just fine.
That's if I wear the right hat and I've got the right shirt on, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Am I too dark for this? I mean,
you're gonna want some lightning.
Just some foundation will be fine. Just some light foundation.
Yes. Now, guys, we don't sound like
cleavage.
that down here.
Yes.
This is Kentucky, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry, but you do, Joe. There's nothing I can do. That is how.
You just got to brush up on your Freebird lyrics because they'll definitely ask you to sing Freebird or Eye of the Tiger or any of them redneck songs.
God bless the USA.
Right.
Yeah.
You mean you guys weren't born with Freebird tattooed on your back?
I know you guys are going to think I'm kidding. I am not kidding. Okay, over here on my arm right now, I've got a tattoo. It's like a shoulder thing. It's Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, that sort of thing. Big old shoulder cap. Underneath that is an old rebel flag or, a colonial black Confederate battle flag is what it was that I had tattooed when I was like 18, 17, 18. Did it with VCR motor, kind of homegrown little thing. I had no idea. And then later on, I was going on. I learned about what the racism and the things. Before, I just thought they were the rebels, right? They're rebels. Right. They're cool. Yeehaw! We're cool. Yeah, we're rebels.
The South will rise again.
Wow.
They were just like punks, people that were anti-establishment, didn't want to like be told what to do or tell others what to do. Just let people live their lives, the Confederacy.
Except for the people they owned. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, we got a couple of super chats, man. I appreciate it, you guys who are supporting the show. Dade Murphy said, here's another $5 for the cause. A very noble cause indeed. Thank you, Dade. And then Limited Lights, another $5, said, who's running an Easter AM The Stupid stream tomorrow? There's bound to be somebody doing it, some of them. And then a Limited Light, another, looks like $2. Who's running an Easter AM The Stupids stream tomorrow? I'm not familiar with that. Anybody?
Nope.
I'm sure there are people running Easter
There's bound to be
streams.
somebody.
I mean, it's Sunday, most of the.
So Chris, as far as tattoos go, you went a totally different route than I did when I got my first tattoos because my first tattoos are Super Mario based.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to go.
And that's what let the demons inside of you, John. That's what happened.
That's true. Yeah. There's Joe's neck.
There's Joe.
Hey, Joe, one up. Yes,
all right.
Sir.
We're all just showing tattoos. Hang on a
Way to
second.
go.
Let me show you the one I got.
Whoa.
Oh my word.
There you go. That's awesome. Okay, I'll show you some. All right, let me do the thing.
Oh my
God.
I got
Come on,
a couple.
guys. All right,
I'll show
folks.
you my Wonder Woman tattoos.
This is a fundraising
My
stream,
ears fell out.
so
Go ahead, Elliot.
send a few dollars, and we'll all just start stripping down and showing you our tattoos on various parts of our bodies. Like, send me that money right now.
Okay, so here's this one.
$10 donation for mine. I mean, it's gonna.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Man.
I do. To Godless Engineers T-shirt. I don't know if you can see mine. I have a Golfo de Mexico T-shirt because
That's awesome.
great. Yeah,
Great.
I may wear that for the protest.
So
That's cool.
I pissed the tattoo artist off who did this because he was way overcharged me, and so he really went hard, and now it's scarified, so you can feel it. It's really cool. You can feel the lines and all of it in there.
Oh,
And then
wow.
my
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings is cool, but if I was really to do this now, I would do a Star Trek. I'm more of a Star Trek. That more reflects me than the Minnesota Vikings does. I should have done. Anyway, and there's my Wonder Woman tattoos.
Hey, look at them.
Cool.
These are just atheist symbols that I found on the internet one time. My ex-wife called them my Wonder Woman.
Well, you see, I would have went John Constantine before I went Wonder Woman.
That was my thinking. Well, she was mocking, right? That's my thinking. Yeah, John. See, you get it. It's not exactly like John Constantine, but yeah, somebody.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I wonder if anybody's ever gotten a stigmata tattooed on them. I'm sure they have, right?
Have you seen there's an image out there on the internet where you can find it, where the guy had a tattoo on his arm and it was Jesus on the cross, and it was a perspective thing where his hand was Jesus's hand.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wow.
Yeah. Awful.
That's intense.
That's dedicated while ignoring Leviticus right there.
Yeah. Right. That is some interesting picking and choosing.
I had to explain that verse to somebody recently, and they're like, "No, the Bible doesn't really say that." And I'm like, "Yes, it does."
Yeah.
Did you explain the shellfish while you're at Red Lobster? That's the funnest.
Red Lobster.
Right as you crack into it, you're like, this is against God's law, right?
You're talking about people who about the Bible, and they haven't read it yet, but the atheists have.
Joe got big on the screen.
We're still here. You might not
we
be
can
able
all
to see
still we can all still talk. So
we can hear each other. I don't know what happened with the thing, but I want to say thank you. We got a $10 super chat from Caitlin Chloe. I hope I said that name right, Caitlin.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
cool name.
Yep. We all know who that is.
Yes, it says get naked. Well, I don't.
Perfect.
She needs to.
Perfect
start hanging
time
out in my morning show chat.
This is the perfect time for me to strip and show y'all my atheist giant tattoo across the back.
That's incredible. The detail on that. Wow, John, you have a tattoo on your ass as well, John.
That's what I thought.
That's incredible.
I love the big bird.
Wow.
I got the big bird down there.
What? Don't pull your cheeks apart like that. Why are you doing that?
Oh, that's crazy.
You had for breakfast.
Is that a hand in there? Wow.
Whoa.
Have you no humanity?
If I swing this fast enough, look, I can get air. Look.
Look, that is fantastic. So yours isn't called a penis; it's called a propeller.
It is. Yeah, that's the program in the UK. Yeah, that's what happens.
God doesn't know what they're missing right now.
Well, as an atheist, I have "I hate God" tattooed in 1-inch letters down the length of my penis.
Wow,
just kind of.
Oh no!
Damn, Chris, you didn't have to show us.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Look. Oh yeah, I know the fur, right? I really should trim.
It's weird when you stretch
man.
Wow. Well, it's not all the hair that's problematic. It's really the smell.
Really?
No, come on.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Chris. It's really not. It's not the smell. It's the smegma. I mean, come on.
Hey, look,
I'm circumcised because I was Jewish when I was born.
Who has one of these? Because I've got my foreskin still. Look at this. Like little
so I do love the fact that we're off camera for all of 30 seconds and it instantly becomes a dick measuring contest.
Mushroom stamp.
Yeah. Everybody send your money right now and we'll recreate this wonderful moment backstage in
I was
person.
gonna take tattoo for you, I promise. Yeah. You just donate and tell me where you want it and I'll do it for you.
Let's see. Nancy Viswanathan says, I always say her name wrong. I'm sorry. Nancy Hugs. Oh, by the way, Patty sent me an email going, take my name off that thing. And I did. I just never said I did. That's weird. Oh. Anyway, Nancy said, let's get ready, KC. And Schmegma.
Okay.
Schmegma, that's like a cream for bagels. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
All the memories.
So at some point in time, you guys know, Joe is going to rewatch this moment and he's going to get back to this and just be like, why the fuck
I don't know.
do I hang out with these people? What is wrong?
I was just being quiet. I'm already here.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
You.
So you know we can only see you, right?
You can see me because I can't see me.
No,
we can't see any.
Yeah, we're all
Nobody
off
can see-
camera.
Yeah.
There's nobody on the stage right now. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
And
but
then he's-
this
He
stuff
he
going
knocked
on-
the fuck out of here. He's like, oh shit, I gotta do stuff. Bye.
Are you not even watching the stream?
He's gone. I'm not
Did his
doing
internet
it.
go down, or did he just bail on me?
We just lost. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
All right, we have to zip it back up. He
It was like, oops, gotta go.
I
He's
don't
like,
want
they're
to-
on to me.
wow.
He's like, Jess, save me. All right, Jess is back, and
Look.
hopefully Jess is going to save us.
I
Wow,
love.
that's
I just
really
love the
long,
fact.
John.
I just love the fact that Nancy's like, it's funnier when we can't see them. Like that says a lot about us, you know, honestly. Like all 5 of us do shit where it's like our dumb faces on camera talking, and everybody right now is like having a much better time not looking at you. Yeah, what does that say?
Oddly, the donations went up when our faces got off the screen.
That's saying something.
I'm just
Wow.
telling you, some of these tattoos are amazing, though, guys. I mean, you really should see these.
These are
Well,
fantastic.
we all better put our clothes back on before,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
before they
Can you
come
imagine if, like, as a joke, we were just the cameras come back?
Right. Just
I'm
completely
down.
for like just a second.
I mean,
you
like,
know?
all it would take is
Whoops.
another $5 donation for
Yeah.
me. I'm half
That's
naked.
how to do it, yeah.
This is the thing. We have no idea at this point. It is a complete and total roulette.
At
At any
moment,
point
yeah.
in time, Joe could actually come back to his stream and put us on camera. And so it's like,
Yeah,
we don't
gotta
know.
Be careful.
You know,
We
we
know
just-
not the time of his coming. We know not the time of his return.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
What
Mark.
if you
Sorry, I memorized the Bible. I'm sorry.
a perfect season?
Well, you know, for those of you who are having the smegma issue, Father Flanagan's is working on a new product called the Instaju. You just pull out the slack, give it a whack.
Wait. Can you say that again? Because I didn't have my phone
again?
open to write it down.
Oh, there we are.
Oh,
We're back.
Whoa!
Thank goodness we all got our clothes back on.
Back in your pants, John.
Yeah. Man.
I could have got coffee. This whole time I'm stuck on the bottom of an empty cup, and
Yeah,
man.
I know. I've been doing all the worst things I normally do off camera. I took that whole time. So, what?
Well, hello, everyone.
Yeah, what are we doing? We should get back on.
yeah.
I do want to mention in case. Wait. Oh, Jess has no sound. Justin. Okay, no worries. We're all right. There is sound. Somebody said no sound.
No, they're
After the
lying.
problems we've had, I just wanted to make sure. No, we're good. So I want to remind everyone, and I want to thank you, Maya Adkinson. There's no N in Maya Adkinson. Maya, thank you for the $5 super chat. Maya said for the Naked Fund.
Woo!
That's right.
It was great. It was a good time. We all bonded quite a lot there.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
got to know
If you-
each other intimately.
It was sticky.
Right.
There's like, yeah.
It was the weirdest
Wait, you
first
didn't have-
sword fight I've ever been to.
Yeah. You didn't have to go the whole sticky route there, Chris. So they didn't need to know we got sticky.
That's true. But I just want to say, man, I hope that rash clears up, dude. My wife's a nurse. If you need any advice, just holler.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man.
John's like, this bitch is never going to be on my stream. Oh,
Well, and I just want to say that the real thing that I thought was the best about that, you know, that camaraderie was it's good to know, like, you know, there are other people's balls shaped like that, you know.
Right.
I felt comforted in that moment
Yes,
to know,
yes.
you
I
know.
feel
so-
better now.
Yeah, thanks, you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, and that's what the show is all about. I signed up for what? Let me check the papers here. Thank you all. Again, just a quick reminder, we are doing this is supposed to be a fundraiser, not a porn show, not the porn show. Y'all going to hell. You're going to hell, and you're going to hell.
I can't wait.
That's true.
Hey, if
I
you've
already
read
live in
Heaven,
Kentucky.
you already live- oh wait, hold on a second. I think my computer engineer has shown up. Wait, he is.
Oh?
here.
What? How's he got a door in that floating void?
I know,
Did
right?
the host just
Wow.
walk off? Is that what happened just now?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
There
But
we
he-
go,
Oh,
the
but
host
look,
will.
he brought a puppy.
Aw.
This is our
That's
engineer, one of the engineers on the show. This is Ollie. And yes, we'd locked him out. He was scratching. So
Was that a cat or a child?
I don't know where the sound came from.
I just heard a cat or a child, and it could have been one of mine.
Yeah.
I think it was your.
confused.
Yeah.
It's definitely not mine.
No.
You ate all yours.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I, a few weeks ago drove him out to the middle of the forest, just kind of left him.
Desert.
You decide if that was a cat or a child. I'll leave that one up to you. But,
Oh man,
You fucking right.
this is what happens when there's 6 guys and no ladies to
man,
control
right.
us.
There's
Like,
nobody-
just please
Yeah.
get on topic.
It
Yeah.
smells like feet and hamburgers in
It
here.
does,
I
yeah.
tell you.
did we have a specific? Was there a specific thing we were supposed to be talking about in this
Money.
moment, other than fundraising for this
oh.
awesome experience at the beginning of July? In the heart of Kentucky. But other than that, were we supposed to
check
have
my
something
list.
prepared?
Fundraiser,
yeah.
rectal blisters.
Okay, yeah.
atheism. No, that's good. We've covered everything now.
All right, sweet.
We talked about Ken Hovind, so that covered the rectal blisters.
Oh,
You win the internet, Chris.
He's
I'm,
going to whack an atheist and whack me one of these days, and then I'll know I'm a real official atheist.
I want to
That's
get
when you-
whacked by Ken Hovind. I
Well,
really do.
yeah. Listen, you're not a real atheist unless you've been whacked off by Ken Hovind.
That's-
Okay, I'm just
I'm waiting
saying.
Hey,
Like,
it only happened once to
Did
me.
you say whacked
and I
off?
loved it.
That was an additional feature I didn't know about.
there was another
Use
word
lotion.
John put in
But,
there.
but I hope everybody here knows about GE and Kent Hovind's discussion many a moon ago that provided us one of the greatest sound clips ever, where Kent Hovind repeatedly tells us the size of a whale's dick. And
No.
GE plays it so perfectly. It's just, sorry, man, my audio cut out. Like,
No.
what'd you say again? And he's like, and he starts to repeat it. And he's like, you know what I said.
you
Are
pervert.
you a pervert or something?
Oh,
Oh man.
Okay, listen. Okay, like I did not prompt him to talk about whale dick at all. Okay, like we were talking about vestigial limbs, and I was talking about a whale's vestigial hind legs, and how of course, vestigial doesn't mean that it's just not used anymore. It gets repurposed from its original use, and so Kent was kind of trying to explain that. He's like, yeah, there's a whale, and I mean, it still uses the pelvis. He's got a 10-foot penis that he has to wave it around in the ocean in the dark until he finds the hole to stick it in.
That's
Oh,
what I do.
Lord.
You've seen them turn over and show the world, right? They show pictures of them rolling over on their backs and flopping their phallus around. If I had a 10-foot dinky, I would too.
do whales only have sex in the dark?
I don't.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Female whales are notoriously ugly.
That's, hey, I mean, can we wait for the sun to go down? I do not want to look at that.
Damn, he went there. We've got a $5 super chat from Limited Light. Says voting for GE and TKA to run the show tomorrow for members can join. Live stream. Mixing Sir Sick and Steven, he, Easter, and the Stew Biz. Oh, I get it. Cool.
Wow.
I want to get God's Engineer on the show one of these mornings for the Daily Atheist Morning Show. If you're available, do you do 9 a.m. Eastern or no? You're like, fuck 9 a.m. Eastern.
Well, no. So during the week, I got forced back into the office. So I'm in the office at like 5:30 in the morning, and I don't get out until like middle of the afternoon. So I'm not good for like a morning show, but I do have it in mind, Chris, to have you on like the line sometime or something like that is my guess. So
It'll be fun.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. And, even on however we do it, it's going to be a good time. We'll blow them away. However, I just want to mention, though, while I've got you, I also do Sci-Fi Saturday occasionally. I was actually going to stop it, but if you're available on a Saturday morning and you like talking sci-fi, I don't know, do you know anything about sci-fi?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like sci-fi.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I do Sci-Fi Saturdays. I'm going to wind it down because, man, 6 days a week is getting rough. But
Oh,
for
yeah.
you,
I bet.
I'll hit you up and we'll do a Sci-Fi Saturday one of these days. Awesome.
All right.
I love sci-fi. Whenever I'm at Starbucks and I just need to connect to the internet real quick, and I don't want to use data, best way to go.
That is, yeah.
Here's a good question. Would you classify the Noah's Ark story as sci-fi or fantasy?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I think more fantasy, right? Like
fantasy.
closer to Dungeons and Dragons than it is to Star Trek, I think.
But
Well, they've
but
got dragons, no dinosaurs. Sorry, on the
Mm.
ark. So yeah, I'm with you there.
a steampunk Noah's Ark story would actually be pretty kick-ass.
Oh, yeah.
That'd
You
be
know,
badass.
like
I'd love that for a
Noah
doll.
builds this like it's actually like a flying machine, you know, and
Like the one that's like the train in the end of Back to the Future, the last, the third one. That would be awesome. I'm down. I'm down.
Very cool. Big Zebra, it's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you're doing great. I recognize the name, despite how cluttered my cannabis-soaked brain can get. It's good seeing you again. It's been a while. Let's see if there's anybody else I've missed. Man, the chat is flying by. You guys are wonderful. AR says, Chris only works at ungodly hours. That's true. I do, if you know, I actually get up, and I get up normally before 3 a.m. It's usually sometime between 2:30 and 3 a.m. I get up.
like on purpose.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
when
know,
I'm
I
going
used
to bed.
I know. Well, when I had hair that was your color hair, I did the same thing. I actually had an IT company that was called Night Owl Computers because that's all I did. I stayed up all night. But then I married the evil one. And she was a nurse and got up stupid early, and I wanted to get up early with her and go to bed with her. So, going to bed with her was fun.
Yeah, so I understand what you're talking about. My having to return to work has really ruined me for like sleeping in on Saturdays, because like now sleeping in on Saturdays is me getting up at like 6 a.m. Like that's sleeping in for me. Yeah, like this morning I was awake about 6:30, and like I couldn't get back to sleep, so we just got up.
Wow. Wow.
See, so Sci-Fi Saturday would be perfect for you, John. Since you're not doing nothing, you're one day off. Yeah, let me put you to work.
There's the way I see the clock is that from about 10, maybe 10:30 a.m. To noon is like morning. And then you've got noon to about 2, which is like midday-ish, and then 3 to like 5 or 6 is that kind of afternoon, getting ready for evening, Then from like 6 to 9 you've got evening, and from 9 to about 3 or 4 a.m. is just night, right? Like that's just nighttime. And then until about 10 or 10:30 the next day, I'm just not confident that period of time exists. I just don't believe. I am skeptical, is what I'm saying.
I was
I'm
wondering.
not seeing the evidence.
Wow.
So you're like you're not sure that there really are 2 8s.
There is right. I see them. I see them on the clock, you guys. Okay, I know that they're on the clock, but I'm pretty confident that there's a period of time where it doesn't actually move.
It like flicks up.
It just stays there, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm a biphasic sleeper. I know that's weird, but I sleep at night and then I sleep again at the day. I sleep.
Oh, what's that like? I've got a nearly
Yeah.
2-year-old running around. I don't sleep ever.
Yeah, I feel like a 2-year-old. If I don't get my noon nap from noon to like 2:30, I'm a bitch every day. I mean, I am. I cry. I'm like a 5-year-old.
Wow.
At least I stop sucking the thumb.
Yeah. You don't have to. There's no rules to say you have to stop doing that. If you want to have to suck your thumb, you go for it. You do it. We won't
I was
judge
getting
you.
$2 teeth though. I mean, it was.
Oh, that's fair. That happens.
I want to kind of go back to the sci-fi thing. So, in Kentucky, we wasted $300,000 on this faith trail thing, right? That promotes the art. And unfortunately for them, the Kentucky Faith Trail forgot to register the domain name KY Faith Trail. So guess who owns it now? So,
Nice.
fortunate website coming up. And the images of Noah's Ark that I've been generating, unfortunately, keep having wheels on them. And I'm trying to figure out how to do, how do I work a Noah's Ark with wheels into the story? So if you guys have any suggestions, I'd appreciate it, because the site's almost ready to go live. But we do have, slaughter on the deck, Axon police body cameras of lions slaughtering the animals on the ship, and
Wow.
it's going to be a very exciting website. But yeah, I want to kind of go sci-fi with it.
That's
But
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's almost done.
I've thought about this, and maybe Godless Engineer would be a good one to. Okay, check this out. I thought I'd be a great apologist. Okay, so whenever they talk about the science of the ark and stuff, okay, you've got like 2 million animals in this thing. You have to have all of them. How do you get them all in there, right? Well, you can't. There's not each one would have to have like a millimeter of space each to rest upon in order to. Okay, but except God, right? God can do anything. The ark was like the TARDIS.
Right.
It was bigger
That's
on the
where I was
inside.
just about to go. I was thinking
Right.
Doctor
It
Who
was
the
God.
entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, also, here's another thing. Anytime in the Bible where God unalives somebody or commands somebody to be unalived, it's vicious, it's horrible. We always think about it bad. And apologists really have a hard time with that. But I've got the solution for them. The answer is, sure, they did become unalived, but God welcomed them to his bosom. See, so you did dash those babies, but they went
That's
right
not
to
bad.
God. So
That isn't-
that's better than most apologetics have.
That isn't a bad argument.
Well, yeah. So that's the argument that William Lane Craig uses. Yeah, he like there was years ago at it was a college talk that he gave. He said that, and then recently when he was talking to I think Alex O'Connor, he reinforced that kind of theology where he basically said that it was better to kill pagan babies and kids than to allow them to live.
Yeah. Pretty weird, huh?
I don't like kids either.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't like kids either.
I prefer the Noah's Ark story, the theory that what started this story was actually there was like a flood, but it was like localized, right? It was localized in the area, and there was this one guy who just like freaked the fuck out and was running around the town for a weekend, just like, oh my God, everything's gonna be fucking destroyed. And then like, for like months afterwards, they're like, hey, remember when Noah built that boat? He put all the fucking camels in it. Oh my God. I think that's a lot better of a story.
that's a better story. I dig it. I thought you were going to go end it with Gilgamesh.
No. Real guy in the Mesopotamian area actually grabbed some animals and shoved them on a dinghy and was like sitting out in the lake for a weekend.
Do you think they were just all camels in this version? And he dressed them all up. So like, we put some rabbit ears for this camel. Here we go. Oh, we put some wool for this one. It's a sheep camel. Yeah.
No, see, Ken Ham says they're all the size of sheep. I actually sat down and calculated. I did the math on this one, and if you take all sheep-sized animals, he gives a number of like 1,670, and calculate the food that they would eat. You're still over by like 2.5 times the volume of the ark.
Oh my word!
It's really bad.
Oh yeah.
It's now.
Yeah.
Oh my!
But
I'm getting visions
also,
of.
where do you
I'm
get
getting
the
visions of. Sorry, I'm gonna just because I've like this is in my head now, and I have to say it. But I've got visions of Noah going to Lowe's and getting tons of paint, and he's just sitting there like just covering these sheep. Noah, why are you painting that sheep grey? Well, this is an elephant. Duh. Oh.
just the idea that he's got a shit ton of sheep and a shit ton of camels, right? And somebody's like, "Hey, Noah, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, you know that flood that's coming, right? It's going to destroy everything. So I'm trying to gather all the animals." And he goes, "Right, so like rabbits or birds or anything?" And he goes, "No, this is it. This is everything right here. Shit ton of sheep, shit ton of kids." Like, all right,
this one's a parrot.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had termites and beavers. So I'll just leave it. I'll let that thing.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Chris, to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good.
We're losing control here.
I have no idea what I was going to say. That was much better. I was going to tell some atheistic lies about Noah, and
there you go.
So there is now that we've brought up the idea of termites, there is the concept of Noah sitting around going like, okay,
where are those little bastards?
A Japanese beetle. Where the fuck are you? What do you look like?
See, what makes it better is like, I really need to find that. And then he sits down and he hears crunch.
Yeah.
I need another Japanese goddamn beetle.
I have a serious question now, and it's again just come to mind. I don't know the laws in this country because I'm relatively new. is it? And this is a hypothetical. I guess the Ark is kind of made out of wood, right? And we have access to termites. Hypothetically, would you be able to take a box of termites and hand them out and go release at this place? And I'm not saying that's what anybody should do, but it's just a genuine question.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Boom. Oh, I should have said that on a stream that is now lives forever. Oh, never ignore that. That never happened.
No, the greatest thing about this whole story of the Ark Encounter protest being built, this massive structure, the state of Kentucky violating the separation of church and state established in our Constitution to give them whatever, fine, But the best part about it is within the first year or so that it opened, it flooded and it had to close.
But then it didn't. I think if I'm right, I could be wrong, but I think yes, it flooded. That's funny.
Yeah,
but then we had to foot part of the bill.
No, I know that's right. That's a terrible right.
Yeah.
It's a horrible epilogue to it. But yes,
That's
I mean,
true.
right? It's so stupid. It's like
so often asked, it's like, where do they get the meat for the carnivores?
Yeah.
Well, they painted some sheep red.
The floaters.
And drew some white lines. Oh,
well, they did bring 7 pairs of the unclean animals, which is interesting. But to the termites, they according to Kim Ham, they only needed 2 insect kinds, right? So they could have been anything. But where they
butterflies and ants, they're basically the same.
Yeah. So my question for Ken Ham, if I ever get to debate him, is cat kinds. What did the cat kind look like? Was it a house cat with saber-toothed fangs? Or was it a lion, that would jump up in your lap? What did the original cat kind look like? And how do we get macroevolution on the scale to take these cat kinds?
Right,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a cat, though. It was a sheep painted like a cat.
Of course.
Well, I'm sorry. You're right, John. It was a sheep. I've been deceived by Satan.
That's right. You were deceived by Satan.
The second time in my life it's happened if you missed the start of the show.
There you go. I want to say thank you to Deviant Outcast for 100 secs. I believe that's Swedish money. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. Deviant Outcast, thank you for 100 secs. Donated to the GFM for ARC protest, but it doesn't seem to show up other than a debit on my bank card. Hope you get it because I'm going to go Viking on that idiotic excuse of a boat. Yes.
It came through.
Yes, let me go here. This does happen. But thank you very much for that support for the Ark Encounter protest. Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Any of you who can be there, who are out in the chat, we'd love to have you. Matter of fact, I think what's going to happen is we're actually getting a Daily Atheist morning show group of people, and the hotel we're staying in, I'm going to try to see about getting their little, how they got the little convention rooms at the hotels? Mm-hmm. Because we're going to have quite a few people who are fans of the morning show. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have our own little gathering. So anybody out there watching, we're going to have a gathering of morning show fans.
I think I live 2 hours away, and I was going to drive it, but I'm now going to speak to my wife about staying because I want to be a part of it.
That's great.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. It's going to all the things. And then our hotel's going to be right across the street or just down the road from this other big group that Joe can tell us about. And Joe, he's not.
Who?
Joe. There's that other. Where's that big Silverman? Not Silverman. Go ahead.
So we have been looking at getting an Airbnb for a large group of people and having everybody just throw in and do that.
The founder of the tri-state area, his house is right across the way from the hotel.
Yeah. So Jim and Chrissy live right by the hotel.
And there's going to be a party there too.
Yeah. We'll have a party after the ARC protest there. But there's going to be lots of stuff going on all weekend. Not necessarily all of it's scheduled and stuff. Just kind of. I figure we're all going to be there as a group, but it'll be a whole weekend event.
Yes, it's going to be a lot.
Cool.
Of fun. So
I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think KC and I are planning on getting in maybe on Friday and staying through the day on Saturday and maybe leaving out Sunday afternoon or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I've got to stay. Oh,
I was
thanks.
trying to get there Saturday morning and then leave Monday. Yeah, so I'll be there for Saturday night, The whole day Sunday in park.
I see in the chat,
Swedish
Limited
Kronos,
Light
thank you.
was asking something, and it's July 6th is the date, y'all. So
Yes.
right at the beginning of July. So get up there and party with us.
And you can go to arkencounter.com, arkencounterprotest.com.
don't do the other one.
Don't do the other one.
No, that
Oh,
first
no.
one will take you somewhere completely different.
They'll convert
Rock
you.
your brain.
Yeah.
Excellent. Deviant. Yeah, so thank you for the support on that.
So-
Swedish Kronars. Go ahead.
So has anybody here been inside the Ark Encounter?
I have not.
Yes, I went to write an article on it, so I had
Okay.
to go.
Yeah, I've been to it too. It's rather like the entire endeavor is like really hilarious
Yes.
to me.
Is-
Well, yeah, because like they have this one big open section like in the middle of the ship that's got like replicas of all of the animal kinds that supposedly were on the Ark. Now, they've got them in these giant ass cages, and I remember specifically they had this one exhibit of an animal that they connected or said was related to whales. And I never really understood that particular animal because it's like, wait a second, didn't God create all of the animals with Adam and Eve? He would have created whales.
Mhm.
How is this four-legged fuck over here related to whales if whales didn't need to be on the fucking Ark? Like they would.
Super great question. Super
Yeah.
great
Wow.
question.
They've just
Yeah.
admitted
Yeah.
to evolution, and
Yeah. Really good question. Also, explain to me that process where Adam was supposedly naming all the animals in the Garden of Eden, somewhere in like the Middle East, supposedly, and he's like naming whales
Where is
and
this?
sharks in the
No,
ocean.
wait. Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
like, did he do that before or after he tried to fucking procreate?
Well,
with
no,
them?
that's the best part. Yeah,
That's- Yeah.
Let's
so
not.
they,
I'm sorry.
I was going to say that they went through looking for what? What were they doing when they were naming the animals? They were looking for his mate,
right.
right?
Let's not
They
forget-
probably took a
every
long,
other
hard
animal.
look at sheeps and goats,
Right.
but then they moved
Right.
on.
Yeah, I've
Go ahead,
turned
Mark.
into a floating head here, but let's not forget that between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, which is what helped me because I read the whole Bible as a kid, animals were either created before Adam or after.
Right.
Both.
So you got to pick one. Maybe the animals weren't even there when Adam was created.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a little thing.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Wave it
Like,
away.
what does it matter?
Well,
We're
you know,
just-
whenever you were talking about whale penises and all that with, was it Kent Hovind?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
quoting Kent
Yeah.
Hovind directly
Well,
in his
yeah.
knowledge of whale dicks.
Right.
Correct.
Now, the whales have vestigial bones, hips, right, from whenever they had legs. And an interesting thing is that if it's a sea creature, if its tail is like this, it used to be on the land and it used to be a mammal. If its tail is like this, it was never on land.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So whales and dolphins, right, their tails are like this. That's evolution. The fact that he can even admit that whales have bones for hips or what used to be hips. Of
Well,
course, that
yeah,
just holds their penis on, right?
Those are just dick directing bones now.
Yeah.
Okay.
what
That's what they were originally. God, when he was creating the whale, he was like, "Now there's something that I got to use in order to careen this
Understood.
10-foot dick."
Okay, that's a really good
That's-
point. You
that's a
have
good
to
one, okay.
believe that at some point in the existence of the universe, your all-powerful, all-knowing being, right, had to sit there and go, all right, so how big is this whale dick? Okay, that's how big I want that dick to be. But if I'm going to make it so large in the water, I'm going to need to shove these hip bones in there too. Why was your God doing? Your God sounds like a fucking lunatic in that scenario.
Yeah,
It-
that's the
yeah,
same
it-
reason why I have hip bones.
Right. That's all I do with my hands.
Careen that dick. Think about all the other weird animals that we have like out there in the wild. Just think about this is a very common thing for like TikTok creators and everything like that to do, like God creating. It's like that bombardier beetle. I think that's what it's called. God, I could just see God being like, all right, we're gonna call this one the bombardier beetle. Why is that? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have it shoot out 500-degree fluids from its asshole.
I had an ex like that.
Oh, you went there.
Wow.
To be fair, he did make marijuana that week too.
Whoa. Joe with the trivia there. Thanks, Joe.
Therapists are standing by.
Hey guys, if you're still watching us, want to let you know that one of the best things you can do to support this cause is, if you want us to shut the fuck up and move on to another topic, all you have to do is send $5 and just say, hey guys,
no more whale penis.
Yeah, talk about anything.
That's all it takes. $5, we'll shut up.
Yeah.
Or $10 and we'll make it 20 feet long.
We'll talk more about it. Right. You get to decide.
Oh wait, hold on. I just remembered. So that was the big thing afterwards. Is once the whale penis thing was a meme. Originally, the length that Kent Hovind said was 15 foot. So the meme is a 15-foot whale peen. And everybody afterwards that doesn't know the background story to that is like, wait, actually, whale penises are only 10 foot long. So listen, okay, this is how pedantic the atheist community is. They heard 15-foot whale penis, right? In like a little song that I had made up. They hear that and they actually go and they type in, wait a second. How big is a whale penis? Oh. No, it's 10 foot. Why are you padding it with 5 feet?
Honestly though, let's just be real, right? That's just like us to throw a few inches on there at the end. I mean, come on. 10 foot, 15, it's basically the same. If you hold it in your hand, it makes all the difference.
That's why I measure mine in centimeters.
Yeah.
Song up there.
I'm European, that's why I do it.
I'm a karaoke fanatic, and the song I'm working on right now is by King Missile. It's called Detachable Penis. And it is the best song in the world. Imagine it with a whale. Trust me, King Missile. Look up Detachable Penis and imagine a whale singing it. I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
Have you heard the Pharaoh's Curse?
No.
I have a song that I wrote. It's a Pharaoh's Curse. It talks about how Abram and Sarai gave the crotch cooties to the Pharaoh. Oh. yeah, it's a slapping song. I would play it. It's not my stream, you know how it is. But but the notion that Godless Engineer wrote a song.
No. So I had a friend. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he likes to do remixes and everything. And so I gave him the audio to it, and I'm like, hey, can you like remix this into sort of like a very oceany kind of sound. I've actually got it on my channel where it's just, it has a bunch of whale sounds and it has a bunch of ocean sounds to it. And it's just Kent Hovind being like, whales have a 15-foot penis. Are you a pervert or something? And then like me saying, I didn't hear you, Kent. What was that again? Oh, you heard me.
Oh my word.
It really is.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to watch that one. He. I watched a deal with him. It was him and Emma Thorne.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Emma Thorne.
Thorne. Yeah.
Thorne was right. Yeah.
Man, she lit him up.
Oh,
goodness, beat him like a dirty rug. It was glorious to watch.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody that we are doing a fundraiser. So if you've got some loose coin out there, don't forget to help support the Kentucky Ark Encounter protest. We're going to be going there. All of these wonderful people on the screen will be there for the Ark Encounter protest in July 6th. And if you any help you can give us.
Can I mention my favorite argument against why a global flood happened, like, because there are so many out there, folks, right? There are so many fantastic arguments out there, but I believe the actual math for this one comes to us from Creation Myth Stan, and has been talked about by many people: Dapper Dinosaur, Professor Dave, Gutsit Gibbon, many people. The heat problem is undeniably the coolest fucking thing ever, that just is like happening in the background all the time. By the way, guys, like, you're currently living in the consequences of this, and it fundamentally disproves the young Earth and a global flood. And it's fascinating because basically, I know we don't all think about this, but a lot of substances around us are decaying on a regular basis, and they just like give off radioactivity. Yeah, pretty cool. Something that was discovered by the Marie Curie. Pretty sure she coined the term radioactive. Pretty cool. And yeah, just little particles just shoot out of stuff all the time, and apparently that makes some heat, you guys. And yeah, just that alone, what we understand about how certain materials decay and the amount of the decayed material that currently exists on our Earth, like, it just, the only way that it could have occurred in such a short time span to get that decayed material here. That's just here, by the way, right? You just walk outside and you're just like, oh, yep, there's lead. Like, there it is. It's right there in front of me, you know? It's just in the ground, right? The only way that you could do that in such a short time span would be to basically boil the Earth, because there would be so much radiation occurring in every square foot of the Earth that it was something like 20 trillion atomic bombs going off. Like, it is stupid. And it's but that's the point. That's the only answer. There's no other answer.
God is like, I want it. Boom.
There's no other answer. There's no way around it.
This came up in my debate last week because my opponent, the Yuck, said that radiometric dating wouldn't work. And I pointed out that, first of all, decay rates are based on certain fundamental physical constants and laws, which the young Earth creationists say are given to us by intelligent design and cannot change. And they want to change those. But secularity is correct. Had we accelerated the decay rates, the Earth would have been a molten ball. First of all, there would have been no solid land. We would have a magnetic field because the dynamo effect that created a magnetic field to protect us, and we would have irradiated all the life. So you've got three, pardon my language, fucking things. That means life it could have existed here had these changed, and yet they argued it did. Unbelievable.
It's wild.
Wow.
It's
well, I suddenly feel even more stupid than normal. Thanks, you guys.
You see all the math that Dan did.
Oh, we went science. So sorry.
It's wild. Like, but that's such
You're
a
right.
fun
You're
little,
right.
you know, like, and I didn't know this. I've always loved rocks. I've always been a rock hound, as we say. I've gone on many, digs and rock hunts and stuff. I've dug up all kinds of rocks all over the country, but I never knew, for instance, the amount of heat that is created just from the creation of limestone. So here in Tennessee, we've got limestone everywhere. You dig down like a fucking foot and it's clay and then limestone, because all of Tennessee was underwater for a shit ton long time. Yep. Well, the creation of limestone alone, a single square foot, creates so much radiation. It creates so much heat, right? The amount of limestone on the Earth right now alone boils the Earth's crust in that time frame. It's insane. Yeah. Super cool. It's my favorite argument.
And they want to claim that so all these creatures that created limestone and chalk and so forth had to live and die and settle to the bottom. And they want to claim microballoons during the flood because, this was a special period. Well, the creatures could not have been near the surface and received sunlight and lived and died and settled to the bottom to create these layers. So they're just so messed up. It's just
Wow.
it's so easy, this is high school or college chemistry, physics, geology. It doesn't work. Their model doesn't work.
And that's
Where in Tennessee you at?
in Nashville.
Oh my goodness, we love Nashville. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, but anyway.
Wait, you're only in Lexington?
I'm in Lexington.
Like Lexington's an hour from me.
Yeah, we're
Oh my gosh, we got to tip a pint. Yeah.
Yeah, I will love that.
The only one of us up here right now that is in some far off weird land is Chris. He's like way past the Mississippi out west.
Wow.
I don't even fucking know about that shit.
I trust Chris.
Where are you at, GE? Where are you?
Oh, I'm in North Alabama.
Oh goodness
God's
gracious!
country,
You
yeah.
guys are like Bible Belt.
God's country, God's asshole. I mean, I don't know.
Whatever you think.
Yeah.
I suddenly feel superior for some reason. I don't know why.
Wait till we get you here to Deliverance Country.
Bang, 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 bang,
I was gonna say I'm bringing a banjo.
One comes with every hotel room.
Oh no!
Of course you've got one.
Oh, you win the internet.
Well,
I can't play it, but I got it.
I got a cello. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
John with Godless Engineer, he's got Bro Cephas.
Yeah.
And I got Wild Bill, and we ought to get Bro Cephas and Wild Bill together for some heathenistic good time when these serious blaspheming could be done, I believe.
Yeah. Well, so at my job, I used to be in charge of like purchasing stuff. So like I had like a credit card and everything like that, and I was responsible for like purchasing items. And the reason why I bring this up is that every time I would call a vendor and I would have to like actually order something from the vendor, they would always be like, you don't sound like you're from Alabama. And I'm like, just because I can speak appropriately, apparently that means I'm not from Alabama.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no, my family were not. My mother and father were not related.
I can just imagine. I can imagine what they think it's like talking to Alabamian. It's like you pick up the phone. It's like bling bling. Yes, I'd like to buy some shit from y'all.
Right.
It must be
I
weird.
need 3 O-rings.
It's got to be weird to have a conversation with someone from Alabama that has all their teeth. So that probably helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You guys ain't right in the head. So for those of you who are unaware, July 6th, we are having the Ark Encounter protest in Williamstown, Kentucky. And all of these wonderful people and John will be here.
Which
I didn't
John?
say which John, though.
Yeah, hang on.
Right?
On behalf of the Council of Johns, I'm offended.
I'm okay with it.
Awesome. You're okay with it. It's going to be a really good time. I believe we've got a couple other. Well, Mandisa is going to be there as well. She was here earlier if you didn't get to see her. Thank you, Jester, for the $5 super chat, by the way. And then also, what's wrong?
I just wanted you to read what Jester has to say. It's very important information, I think. Maybe
Jester
some of our
says-
people are currently watching the screen, so I just want to make sure that everybody hears.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to say it out loud.
Hold on. To answer Jester's question, I will bring a 15-foot whale penis to the Ark Encounter.
There you go.
You are driving, right? Not flying, because I wouldn't be getting that through security.
Inflatable. We make it inflatable with helium.
Very interesting carry-on.
Can you imagine driving through and then you just all of a sudden you open up the sunroof, it goes back, and
Like flapping in the wind.
And then it becomes engorged.
I live an hour away. I can drive you one up. I'll drive a well penis up if we need it.
If you have to brake suddenly as well, that thing's just going to go on your.
Yeah.
Didn't RFK have a story like that?
Say that again, Joe?
Didn't RFK have a story similar to that?
Yeah, I can just see RFK being like, listen, if you snort whale penis, crushed up whale penis, it will cure every disease known to man.
Yeah.
No
autism.
A dead whale or something, a dead small dolphin. I don't know. He cut the head off of it because
he had a dead bear in his trunk.
He had a dead bear too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also ate a dog. Yeah,
Oh,
he also
did.
ate. Yeah, he ate a dog and he killed a bunch of children in
Yeah, the
Samoa.
bats hit me.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like the thought
Yeah.
of a national news story titled "Atheist Activist Gets Arrested by TSA for 15-foot whale replica penis."
And it's
Like, I
just-
love that thought.
The picture is just me like holding on tightly to the whale penis
not
as the
letting it
TSA agents are like trying to talk me down. Like, put it down, sir. Put the whale penis down.
Step back from the
Give me 15
penis.
seconds with AI here, and I'll have you on.
I think this is our problem as atheists, as non-religious folk. We have been too unwilling to do the stunts, like the religious have. I mean, they built a giant fucking replica of an ark in the middle of fucking Kentucky, of
That
all
leaks.
places. Right. It's stupid. It was dumb. It makes no sense, you guys. We need to build whale penises, life-size replicas, and just start spreading them around our cities and letting people know. We're not gonna take this.
I just want to point out, GE didn't say he was bringing a replica.
Yeah, that's I heard that too.
He don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Tell TSA if they frisk it, it'll only get bigger.
God.
Yeah, unfortunately, ChatGPT says it violates their policy to
It's
generate.
yeah. You want to know what my favorite part about all of this is? That the chat and the viewers have been fairly consistent this entire time, which
They're
means
in
like
for it.
you're just signing off on this, you guys. I told you a while ago, at any point you could be like, hey, change the conversation. There's a very easy process, and not a single one of you took us up on that.
Nope.
So
They gave us money to go back to
keep
speaking
going.
about the
Right,
whale peen.
right.
Oh,
Yes.
this is your fault.
Yes. That's okay. Yeah, that's right, Stacy. Nobody said replica. We want the real thing, or it don't count.
Well, we
We
run
do.
a top tip here.
The chats usually are fantastic. The people are hilarious. Not as funny as me.
It's an awesome.
They're pretty.
That is fair. I think
It has been. You guys have been fantastic. Is it time to start wrapping things up? I want to ask before we do, though. GE, do you do all of your shows standing?
Not all of my shows, but I mean, I've got a sit-stand desk, and so like I usually like to stand. Yeah.
Gotcha. I've thought about doing it too for my shows, standing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm-
I think it's also like an ADHD thing or something, because I like pace, like I move around, I pace around. I've been teaching myself how to juggle, so like I'll sit up here and I'll juggle while I'm standing up and doing stuff too. So yeah.
Can you do it? Can you juggle? Because I'm like an ex-street performer. I can teach you some new tricks, some new juggling tricks.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
well, so I'm still getting used to 3 balls.
Okay.
Juggling 3
But
balls.
if you could do
and-
3 balls,
Polly-
I
Oh,
will. Okay.
I'm not gonna go there.
If you could do 3, John. In July, as part after the protest, I'm going to
have a
teach you to
juggling
do
seminar.
a co-op juggle. So we will juggle 3 balls together.
We're gonna juggle each other's balls.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm
Guys,
going to wash them and
this
I'm
is
gonna
what we
shave
need.
them.
This is what we need. We need an atheist juggling society.
Ball
Like
society.
just we get
Yes.
together every day. We talk about our balls and how they're better godless. And oh my gosh, this is great. I love this.
Right.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to ask now, I guess if I want to say thank you to all the people who've shown up, all the people in the chat who've given money, to all the hosts who've shown up. Man, you guys are wonderful. Mark, it was nice to meet you.
You
John,
too,
it was
Chris.
nice to meet you. English John.
John.
John, Godless Engineer, man, it's nice seeing you again. Let's do the line. We'll have fun. We'll light them up together because,
Oh yeah.
anyway,
Definitely.
that'll be a good show. And then, of course, Secular Rarity. We here, Secular Rarity, Secular Rising, Elliot, we here in Albuquerque are actually getting together. I guess because we got a group. We're getting together and we're going to start working on developing a Secular Rising group here in the actual meat space, MEAT space. which is really creepy for me. But we've got another person here who's working with me who's willing to help build, and we're going to build us a secular rising group here in Albuquerque. So it's going to be fun.
Cool.
You guys are.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I think, and this is one of the things when Joe reached out initially a while ago to me and was like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about trying to bring back the Ark Encounter, and I want to get all these people on board and stuff." I was instantly excited because this is the type of stuff that we need to do more of, you guys. Like, this is the type of stuff that we need to have regularly around the country for a multitude of reasons, right? Not only because there are so many people that lack that tangible in-person community, but let's just be real. The other side is doing this every weekend. Tomorrow's the big day for the Christians, and all over the country, they're going to be showing out, like, for sure. But every fucking Sunday, that's what it's like. We need to start doing something, because if we don't start today, 5-10 years down the road, there'll be no way that we can ever meet their passion, their numbers. There's no way. Yeah. So we have to get out. We have to show the rest of this country, like, hey, we're not going anywhere. And in fact, we're getting bigger because we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. True enough. So I'll be continuing to get in touch with you as we continue to develop that here in the space. And of course, thank you to Joe, the Kentucky Atheist, for hosting this wonderful event.
Yeah,
all
Joe.
The effort
Good job,
that you
Joe.
and Jess have put into this. This is fantastic.
Oh yeah. Thanks for coming and being a part of this, everyone. I truly appreciate it, and thanks to everybody who's donated and stuff to help us put on as good an event as we can. We'll do some more ARC related stuff as we go, but definitely a shout out to Jess. Jess does so much behind the scenes to make my channel a little bit better than just me talking about whale dick.
True.
Awesome. But I appreciate everybody who helps with all these things. We need you guys too, and I think GE says something about helping people to stand up and use their voice, and that's what we should be doing. And the reason I do this and do it in such a relaxed way is to show that anybody can do that. So more people that stand up and use their voice, the better.
Yep.
True enough.
Yeah.
More hand.
I'm sorry. Just throw in a real quick plea. I've mentioned this to Joe, and he's going to get the word out. But so I am a writer, and I've got a trilogy that I'm working on people who have been abused by the church and so forth. I was just mentioned in the chat, which reminded me to mention this. It's a Journey to Reason Chronicles. I would love to connect with people who like me, have been indoctrinated into the church early. The book, it's called Lamentations, will be the third book. And I'm trying to tell the stories of people like me who have been through this indoctrination series. So reach out to Joe if you're interested in telling your story, anonymously, of course. But thank you for the time.
Cool. I was going to mention that. Thank you for that, Mark. If there are any other links, we've got links. Joe's put some links to our individual channels. I think Mark's is the only one that doesn't actually have a channel link.
I don't have a channel, no. I'm just right now a website, and I kind of, for reasons I won't go into, abandoned the social media for a while, but I'm working towards it. But the book, they're killing us on social media. I worked up to like 12,000 followers, and 35 people saw my new book release. But that's beside the point. Yeah, if you'd like to tell your story, I am writing a book. I would love to represent you and tell your story. And I'll shut up. Thank you.
Thank you. And then, of course, we got John the Skeptic. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him. He talks crazy talk. It's like English.
It is. And I say this all the time. There are very intelligent folks on the internet. John, Elliot, amazing. I am like the dumb person that just points out silly things as like the first step to like not believing in this crap. So that's what you'll get from me. If you want some smart stuff, go to John.
That's what I do. Mine's like a surface level. I've got a video series called The Evil God Monster of Abraham. I'm like, listen, man, I use the NIV. If you need to look at it in like a second language or something, it's shit. Because nobody's going to do that.
What you do get, though, okay, for anybody that's not aware of this, what you do get at the Skeptics channel is the one true religion.
Yeah.
All others are fakers and wannabes for Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe. I mean, come
Leave
on.
me upon her. Yeah, she is the one true God, and there is absolute proof of her. If you need it, just go and watch some videos on my channel.
Okay, and what's her name again?
Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe. Leave me upon her.
I'm signing it now.
Leaf be upon her. That's wonderful.
You have to
That's
say it every time. Yeah.
John. Like a long time ago on Facebook, I actually created something kind of similar, but with a different twist to it. Mine was the Holy Handjob Gorilla.
Yes,
it's a little bit different.
Why didn't that catch on? I'm all for a gorilla hand job.
Well, I feel like for most people, it was like, they enjoyed it for like 15, 20 minutes, but then like, a minute or two later, they were like, now I have a clear head now and I'm thinking about this more.
And sudden regret as
sudden
well.
regret.
Yes, after they've cleaned up.
Yeah. That reminds me of a very good joke. You know the difference between pink and purple? Grip.
That's a good one.
So, and then now we move on to Godless Engineer. Don't forget to subscribe to GE's channel. He's got great content. You go live every Saturday or Friday, right? And then you're on the live line all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Although the next couple weeks is going to be a little bit of a hiatus as far as like live streams go and everything. We're going out to like Las Vegas and going to a whole bunch of the federal like parks and everything that are we're doing kind of a road trip out there doing that, and then we're going to end up back in Las Vegas to play some poker. But other than that, yeah, normally it's every Friday night, and I'm trying to get back into a groove where I'm putting up like new fresh content. Because right now I'm primarily putting out like clips from like my various call-in show appearances, and so I'm putting that up, and just sort of like to give people some content, because I don't expect everybody to watch every single appearance of me on like the call-in shows. So I try to make sure that I keep a pretty active archive of like all of the good talks that I have on there. And I just want to say, if y'all are looking to me for deeper understanding or more like information, y'all need to go somewhere else. Okay, like I literally like it's so stupid. Some of the best content on my channel is just literally me turning on the camera, turning on a dumb video, and then me just repeatedly stopping it, being like, this is really dumb as fuck for this reason, and then hitting play again. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Like a lot of times it's just like right off the top of my head. You can tell when I've got notes, because I'm like, hold on a second, I wrote notes about this, and then I read verbatim just on screen, like, here are my notes, so I don't fuck it up.
Cool. Well, don't forget, subscribe to Godless Engineer. Still, though, I mean, I've watched your stuff. You got more smarty stuff than I mean, yeah. Of course, I'm an atheist. I just make it all up and lie anyway.
You have no basis for your logic and morality anyway. So.
Right. Without God, there's no basis for morale. What? Have you read the Bible?
Exactly.
And now we go to Skeptic. Secular Rarity, which is actually turning into Secular Rising. He's growing stuff. You want to really give us another?
Yeah, I'll do a quick thing. It's real simple. Secular Rising US. Rising, by the way, RISING. There are some people out there that were Secular Rising, like as one word, and I was like, hey, you caught on to the like double entendre thing. Like that's what we were kind of, we're secular rising, as in like there's a rising movement in the US, and then we're like secularizing the US.
Yes.
Get it? Yeah. But it's cool. It's this awesome idea of trying to build and continue to grow the connections between all of the various groups and organizations that are out there already doing some great work, and then all of the individuals that are doing that great work too in the non-religious, atheist, secular, agnostic, humanist space. So we are based in Nashville. We're based in Middle Tennessee right now, but we are looking to expand all over the South and as large as we can. Like Chris was saying earlier, we're already working together out there in this magical fantasy land of Arizona. I think I said that right. Something way out there in the desert, like Phoenix, or I don't know.
Just
that
remember,
area.
take a left where you should have taken a left.
Right. At Albuquerque. I got you. But no, the whole goal is to be promoting stuff like this. Exactly like what Joe has been working on for so long. Joe and Jess have been building this idea, have been connecting with a bunch of different people. Like he mentioned earlier, there is a group in the Cincinnati area, the Tri-State Freethinkers. There are people like Jim Helton and Mandisa and Cynthia, and there are so many people in this space. And what we do not have is the connection and the support for each other that the other side has. Right. And that's the reason, and absolutely, and the money. Look, we just got to be honest about it, guys. Yeah. Our side is poor, and we need you to sit down tonight after this stream and think of every rich family member that you fucking know and figure out how you can suck up to them so that you can help support these awesome causes. So the summertime in the South is going to have a bunch of really, really cool shit going on. So y'all need to stay connected.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I want to mention, if any of you, GE, John the Skeptic, if any of you know of any gatherings, atheist gatherings, we know we got the July one, but if there's any other ones that are going to happen, like the Free Flow event, I missed it, man. I had no idea it was happening until it was happening.
There's NanoCon coming up at the end of July, which we're all going to be there for as well.
The three of us, GE and Skeptic and myself, we're all going to be out there. At July 26th. That last Saturday in July in Nashville, we're going to be out there. AACon is happening right now. It's going on tomorrow. But this is the thing. There are so many awesome activities. And one of the biggest problems is right now we all have to go to 1,000 different places to figure this stuff out, you know? Right. And the goal is, and I see this happening over the next, 4 to 5 years. I see this being something that a lot of the non-religious groups and individuals are working on, is bringing us all together. Right. Bringing us into a space where we're promoting each other, right? Like we're able to say on the Daily Atheist Morning Show, like, hey, if you don't know about the line, if you're not familiar with chewed gum, you need to go see what Alyssa and Promise are getting up to. Yeah. Like, if you don't know about the Transposition News Show, you need to go check that shit out. Right. If you don't know about Bridge City and what Durante Lamar has been getting up to, this is the time. So this year is the start of it, and over the next few years, you guys, I'm telling you, we're gonna build a fucking movement that is gonna take over. Like, we're not gonna put up with this anymore. We're not gonna be pushed around anymore. We have the numbers on our side. 1/3 of our nation right now actively takes a label of non-religious, atheist, agnostic, whatever. That's huge. That's bigger than any denomination of any religion whatsoever in and of itself. We got this, you guys. We just got to get connected.
Yeah. And now we're getting this whole, they got the government faith office. They've got the watch, don't blast, the anti-Christian. The government is actually protecting Christians. We're this close to looking at anti-blasphemy laws.
Wow.
Yeah. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming.
I know.
Yeah. So,
I was going to say the DoD already has that hotline where you can report anti-Christian bias in the government.
That's it. Wow. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming. The anti-blasphemy laws are coming. So, and people like, I'm a little bitty guy in this. I'm a little fish in this big pond. But Godless Engineer, I could see him in El Salvador. Sure enough.
Thanks.
No problem. I put in a good word for you with the government.
No, let's quit. Let's quit putting that feeling out there. Ether there. I've got way too much Puerto Rican in me to like have that be a joke. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to hear that. I wasn't laughing. Did I laugh out loud? Anyway, you guys have all been wonderful. Thank you all. Don't forget, I'm Chris Mallard, the host of the Daily Atheist Morning Show at The Damn Show right there. Go subscribe to me and join us Monday through Friday. We do the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Me, Durante Lamar, and Ryan Coltastic. We have a lot of fun. It's a hoot. Join us. Joe, do you want to take the last word? Or are you still there?
I'm here.
Awesome. Send us off, brother.
No, I don't think I'm going to say anything better than all that. Go check all these guys out on their channels and support them and their channels and get involved with as many of these activities as you can this summer, and show people that we're paying attention to these things. We see what you're doing. That's all I got.
Awesome. All right.
Well,
Thank you.